Jo, to by mělo fungovat. Sorry, že on to měl, sorry. Dobrý.
Konečně. Hej! Jak to teď vypadá pěkně, ty vole.
Že?
Ale sere mě to, protože tam není nic vidět, říkal Honza.
No.
Co není kde vidět?
No, Veselý říkal.
Kvalifikace a potom warm-up a start závodu jsou za soumraku a strašně blbě vidět na té trati.
Třeba se hodně jezdců se střelí před vama.
No, nebo se střelí na...
Nebo tě někdo se střelí do zadu.
Tak ja budem teda štartovať posledný.
Jasně. A pak tedy přijde Gajdoš jako na Monaku v roce 2014. Ty, co startují z boxu, jsou pro mě takový ty srabíci.
Jo.
Ja si pamätám túto 2014 Bahrain, hlášku Jarda Cigáň Oh Baby a potom
No, to on měl rád, no.
Honza pospíšil, tam asi ten Cigáň sa vracal, ne? A Honza do neho nejako nabúral, ho tam nevidel, alebo čo, za to dostal úplne takú nezmyselnú penalizáciu. A vtedy povedal, že to je evidentně Honzova chyba.
Jo, ty vole, já vždycky, vole, když jsem někde jel, tak jsem...
ještě, že amatérismus nejvyššího stupně.
Já vždycky, když jsem měl nějaký závod, vole, tak mě vždycky někdo se stříl a vždycky jsem za to mohl já, vole. Jako ono je to asi tím, že většinou mě se střelovali admini lig, takže vole, to ani jinak nešlo, vole.
Já jedu na trať asi.
Tak hodně štěstí, hoši.
Díky.
Já taky. Hodně štěstí.
Ty vole, já se ti lek, Matěj.
A Jirko, chci dobrou kvalifikaci, i od tebe, Maťo, jinak budu bušit do stolu jako toto Wolf, vole.
Dobré, tak. Není to můj stôl, nebudem ho platit.
Ještě, že ta kurva je sticha.
Ty vole, tu nie je nič vidno. Mne ešte svieti slnko do izby, ty kokos, a mám zastreté žaluzie. Ježiš, ja nič nevidím.
Ty vole,
Já si musím zatáhnout žaluzie na druhém okně, tyjo.
No ja tu mám len jedno aj tak.
No já právě taky.
tak příští rok budeme muset před Bahrajnem udělat upgrade vozu a dát na to přední světlo.
To jo.
Ale dopředu ještě celkem se to dá, ale zrcátka.
Tomu ver, to som sa tiež teraz kúkal.
Do zrcátek nekoukám nikdy. Paťo?
No.
Je drastice, kde si teď neuvidíš vůbec Apex. Nebo jakoby ten levej obrubník, chci tě říct.
Kokos.
Ty vole, to nepůjde. A pak nahoru, když jedeš do kopce, tam bacha.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Formula Sim Racing Ace
Hoši,
Championship
snažte se, já v
Round
těchto
2 of
podmínkách zde je osobní
2018.
rekord, tak se
Today
předveď.
we're here from the Bahrain International Circuit from a lovely twilight setting today. We're going to work our way into the
ten luk
darkness,
udělal?
which should happen in the early stages of the race. But today I'm here with a new commentator to FSR. I'm here with Joshua Penny.
Hello everyone, I'm excited to be part of the Formula Sim Racing Championship today. I've seen some great things from this league in the past, and if this round is anything like the one from Melbourne last time out, then I'm sure it should be one with a lot of talking points.
No to je sranda toto.
Yeah, it was certainly a
Normálne brzdenie na slepo.
a very interesting race last time out. There's a lot of different strategy calls and things like that. So I'm sure it's going to continue today because the tire options
A je to
today
moc
are
slušně, když
soft,
vysíláme.
soft and the medium, and they're not the most durable
Přenos to
tires in the
vypadá
world.
normálně.
So it's going to be a little bit difficult to try something like a one-stop here. So the strategy is definitely wide open for.
A nerušte, když jedeme.
Well, Cameron, you've just come from racing actually in the Pro Division. So, what can you tell us about how these cars handle on these tyres and what kind of strategies we're going to be expecting and what we should look out for in general?
Well, as I said, the tyres are a little bit sensitive, so you really need to be careful. But if you can manage your tyres, then it is definitely possible to do a good performance. I mean, in Pro, we saw a lot of people doing 2 stops, but I tried a 3-stop, which probably wasn't the best option. But I'm sure
Ja, sam
maybe
słuszny.
a little bit quicker,
No.
it could work. So I'm probably looking at
To
2-stop,
sa nedá,
but
ty vole.
whatever tyres
Ja się
you
tu
use,
zatáhnu do druhého okna.
it's not going to be set tyres. There's going to be people choosing quite a wide range, I think.
Okay, yeah, strategy is certainly one of the most interesting points in a race like this. I mean, Bahrain, a track which is very high in abrasion, and we've got some quite quick corners here and some quite tight, slow braking zones, like especially the one going through turns 9 and 10. That one really drags the tyre out a bit. It's very easy to lock up there, so tyre conservation might well be a talking point today, but for now, this is all about qualifying, so it's all
Ty
about
pojedeš, Maťo.
taking the car
Neviem.
to its
Asi
limit
12
and
minút.
seeing
pred
what you can
koncom.
get out of it. And so far, at the top of the order after the first
Ještě
5
máme
minutes
3
of
stinty,
qualifying
ne?
is Tom
Mhm.
Satherley. So Tom Satherley at the top in the
Já
GS
pojedu asi
racing car
teď za
so far.
20. člověkem.
Although the drivers have only really set 1 lap so far, so a lot of time for improvement. Second place at the minute, Robin Panzer in the ACR Racing Engineering car. Of course, that's one of the 2
Dobrý čas, Jirko.
ACR. Actually, I think it's 3
Vteřiny
ACR
ztráta na
teams
sebe.
here today. Third, Lucas Schmidt, who is actually second in the championship after the first round. And then it's Jordan Weeks and Giordano Valeriano. And Valeriano is our championship leader, winning last time out at Melbourne. Had to fight for it, but he got there in the end. And now, well, he'll be wanting to replicate that
Idem
here today
teraz na
to
trať.
extend his championship lead, I'm sure.
Yeah, today there are there's also a couple of penalties. So if you see at the bottom of the screen,
Jo,
there's a
to
few
je
people back of
Maguire.
penalties, which is why they are not out.
Po rozrazitých boxoch.
Yeah, let's have a look at the track and see who is going onto a lap. We already have some times set up, as you can see.
Well, I think we should talk about who actually has these penalties first. We've got David Chiappini with a 5-place grid drop, and then we have a couple of back of the grid penalties altogether, and those are Danny van der Neert, who is currently 5th in the championship, Harris Parves, Tom van Egmond, and Pedro Gomez as well. Although I don't think that Danny van der Neert is actually here today. I think he's been replaced by, is it Arif Roslan, who has taken that seat. And we'll be doing the full season for that car, I think.
No, I think that is his full-time seat. We don't actually have reserve drivers as such in the ACE Championship, so I'm pretty sure that is his full-time seat for this season.
Okay, I just don't see Van der Neert in the server. That's all. So we'll see. We'll see if he turns up. But for now, Jordan Weeks goes to the top. So Jordan Weeks with a 127.139 in the Driller's car, I think, goes to the top of the order so far. He's actually set the most laps of anyone in the server so far, but of course that's counting out laps and things like that. So Weeks at the top now from Satherley in second. Still plenty of time to for things to change though. I believe that Satherley himself is on a lap here, so we'll see if he can go any quicker with this one. I don't actually have a live timing thing on my screen at the minute, so I'm just going to have to guess who's on a lap a lot of the time. But Satherley certainly crossing the line here, so does he go any quicker? No, he might just start his lap actually.
I think he's starting his lap. That is very true.
Alright, so we'll have to follow this one then. Tom Satherley in the GS Racing Cup. He's been at the top of the order so far, and he's currently in second, chasing down Jordan Weeks. There's only half a tenth of a second between the two of them, so it's certainly close up the front of the order, with the top 4 drivers separated by less than a tenth of a second, although Sandro has a bit of a wiggle on this lap so far. Oh, he's off, so looks like he completely abandoned it.
Yeah, that lap was not going well for him. He had a bit of a mistake going into turn 3 or turn 2 it was, but Luke Schmidt now P6 at the moment. He is on a lap currently coming through the first sector. I think he's definitely one to watch for in the championship and also to
Ta první desítka je nevysponovaná.
Valeriano has just popped up to the top there.
Yeah, Valeriano goes to first. I was just going to say he's been moved to 7th, but now he puts his car to the top of the order. I was expecting that to come sooner or later from Valeriano, who won last time out, as I've already said, because I wouldn't expect Valeriano to have had any sort of dip in confidence or performance after last round, and he's only going to get better from here. So Valeriano to the top of the order with a 126.848. How does that relate to the drivers in the Pro Division earlier?
No,
there were some drivers different.
Zrychluje Hamnet, no, za tebou na 11. místě
I would
teďka.
expect this ace field to be,
Coleman by mě měl dát taky. Rošek taky.
Coleman má absolutně nejrychlejší první sektor. A Mroček taky hodně zrychluje.
To vypadá dobře, Jirko.
And yes, he has gone second. He has gone second, only 2/10 off Valeriano, but still quite a big jump.
Ale ty kluci se hrozně kloužou.
No, ale Mroček ani další zatím nevypadají, že by tě měli porazit. Jenom Coleman a Hamnet jsou.
Tak to by stačilo.
No, tak to 11. místo by bylo dobrý, no, že bychom mohli jít na tu strategii. Přitom bys nebyl daleko.
Takhle jako,
Ale tam jsou ještě penalizace před tebou nějaký.
fakt?
Já nevím, počkej, někdo tam má ještě penalizace, ne?
To bylo, já se podívám.
Ale nakonec to vidím tak, že ty super softy byly asi lepší ještě. Protože bych si aspoň vyzkoušel tu výdrž, jestli mi vydrží těch 10 nebo díl.
Tak já si myslím, že bys to protáhl tu životnost ještě.
Protože kdybych mohl jet super soft, kdyby to bylo úplně super.
Maguire has
Takhle
a
dneska
lot
vyhrál
more
závod
scumperman, as does Peter Schultz
pro
in
někdo.
the flag to
Italian.
flag racing car there. So
To bych je hodně těch.
We're on board with Peter right now. This is his first race of the season as he missed the last race.
Jeden má 5 míst penalizaci a 4 mají bench
was
pokry.
out, but yeah, he is
Má
back
5.
today in his flag machine with
Davide,
his green
Chiappini?
X's to indicate
Šestý.
that it is
No.
in
Davide Chiappini je 6., takže ten by
it's a
šel
bit
kolik?
crossed up there out of 10.
Ale
10.
myslím,
That's definitely
že
going to affect his
to by sa
momentum. I mean,
nemalo
that's
rátať
certainly going to affect his momentum.
No,
Yeah,
keby sa do tej top 10 posunieš.
fairly mediocre season last year with
No,
Breslin, and he moved to
Ne,
ACR, but
budu
he's
se
now in the
čítat
flag
výsledky
squad.
kvalifikace.
No, až potom, no, se to bude posouvat, takže by to mělo být
Around the world as well.
Ano.
teoreticky jo, no.
Now he is in
Okay.
the FSR's Formula 1 car and he is going for this.
Já už asi ani nepojedu tu
Not
kvalifikaci,
set
se mi
up
nechce.
down in
Ono
P23.
zatím nevypadá, že by tě
Let's
někdo měl
control
překonat.
from the corner. Let's see what he can do. He's very
Jako já teoreticky
quick
bych
in
mohl zajít i
pre-season
lepší čas,
testing.
protože
Can he
teď je tam
get
ten
to
real road, že jo, ale
top 10?
to by mi vůbec nepomohlo.
Can he do
18th.
oh 18? Oh, I'm sure he's a bit disappointed with that.
Co Maťo,
He's
co
still
tobě,
got,
to by se ti moc nedaří, ty
A lot of
časy, co?
time to find, I'm afraid to
No,
say.
ja
But,
som prvý
well,
nič
we can
nevidel
talk
a
about
druhý
that.
som
Robin
poslal.
Panzer's gone to second. So Robin
On
Panzer
sa tam
Panzer,
roztočil
in
v
the-
poslednom sektore.
Well, that's the. That's
Ale ja
one of
mám
the
normálne na
ACR cars has
28.0
gone
úplne v
to,
pohode, ale ja
second
proste
position.
nič nevidím.
Wow, just
To dáš.
3,000.
Lopez se posunul do první desítky,
Two
to?
ACR cars, or two of the ACR cars. Very
A teď
close
ticho,
up the front of
jdeme
the
tím.
order, although technically different teams. We've got ATR Racing Engineering for Rob Panzer and simply ACR for Lucas Schmidt. Remember, we actually have 3 ACR teams on the grid in this series.
I was just on board with Victor, and he wasn't very happy. Let's put it that way. That he messed up the lap that he was on. Unfortunately, putting it in the wall.
Boha.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised by that.
Well, at least this is sim racing, so you can do things like that. Not maybe the most professional way of taking the car off the track and back to the pit, but it works. So why not? Actually, I believe Robin Panzer's on a lap here because he's really flinging it around the middle sector. So
No,
Panzer
he's warming up his tyres right now.
he's warming up his. Yeah, because I thought he was in the pits not really that long ago. So yeah, Panzer not on a lap yet. He's just sort of getting the tyres warmed up. And this is exactly the opposite approach to what we saw in Formula 1 yesterday. Because in Formula 1 yesterday, the problem that the drivers were having was that the tyres were absolutely overheating, and they were having to absolutely crawl around on the outlap just to stop the tyres from overheating. But it looks here like we're having absolutely the opposite problem with these tyres.
Yeah, the tyre, it's quite a low grip track here, to be honest. But the
si dělal pár chybu v tom prvním sektoru, ne?
Kade som urobil chybu? Ja proste nevidím, ja mám čiernu obrazovku.
Tak ešte máš
Jedno kolo.
jedno kolo.
Ale aj tak to je najlepšie na 17. miesto a to už je jedno, či štartujem
If that's
20 či
medium, tell that
17.
to Great Britain.
Nejdůležitější je na startu se vyhnout všem problémům.
Suspects
Jo, no
sometimes.
to bys měl
Very
lepší teď.
different, yes. A very quick lap just came in from Matthias Coleman. Matthias Coleman set the lap almost identical to the leaders.
Jako nečekal jsem, že
just off it
první
by
16 bude pod 28.
0.029. And Coleman goes up to second with that lap. He only has one more attempt. In fact, he doesn't
Jo no,
have one
ze
more attempt
začátku
because
to
an
vypadalo
out
dobře
lap
takhle s těma
and then a
číslama.
real lap would cross him over into 13 laps. So that was Coleman's last attempt there. And well, I'm sure he still had time to
Tak
gain.
asi
So
bez
that's a shame
11
that we
Jirka.
have the lap limit there, but Coleman
Jak to?
will start
No, posunul se Kolman ještě.
No, ten
will
Davide,
start at
jo,
least
ten
second.
Šiaklíny. To mi
It's
nevadí,
still a good lap
akorát to je
from
v
him,
pohodě.
and, I mean, there is a lap limit of 12 laps, so that is basically 4 hot laps,
Ale ještě
because you need a
Maguire
outlap
jede.
in lap. Fast
Ještě
lap.
teoreticky ten Namian má občas dobrý
With,
sektory.
Lucas Schmidt right now, he is coming through the final sector, and Panzer
Aha, Maguire
was
nejede.
also on the lap, but he is now back in the pit lane, obviously aborted that. Let's keep on board with Lucas Schmidt as he comes up to the final corner. He's currently only 2/10 off pole, which is more than doable for him, I would say. But can he improve on
No, startoval bych 14, kdyby ty 3 jeli.
ACR driver? Yes, he
Oh,
can. He
great
goes to pole by half a tenth of a second. That is a good lap, and he's
Moroček se
got enough time for
zlepšuje
another one
v
if he's got
sektorech.
enough laps.
Ten Mrozček je...
But that-
Yeah, he's got enough
that's a
laps
good
left.
To zlepšuje, ale
So,
na Jirku by to nemělo stačit.
126.793.
Záleží na tom třetím,
But
no.
I'm just half a tenth of a second ahead
Ten
of
druhý má hodně
Mariano.
rychlej.
But the grid order doesn't care how far ahead you are, it cares that you are ahead,
Tak jo, no.
and he is.
Je tam.
So the top three
Ten
are
osmý,
separated
no.
by less than a tenth of a second once again. Schmidt,
ještě máš tam-
Valeriano, Coleman, they
tam
are
máš
very,
kolo.
very close here.
2 kola.
But
tam
Schmidt
ještě
and
2 kola,
Valeriano
ale-
are going to get another attempt
Jako,
if they want one, and
Tak já to
Coleman
zkusím.
unfortunately
vyjeď.
isn't there. So that's that for him. But a great lap from Lucas Schmidt there in the ACR Avichronik racing car.
It seems like most of the top drivers are in the pit
teď je
lanes. They're
vidět líp
obviously
trošku.
growing up to go out in a couple of
Jo, už je to lepšie, ešte počkám chvíľku. Keď budú 2 minúty do konca, tak idem.
Should they have the lap count? Yeah, it seems like almost everyone is in the pit lane about to come out onto their flying laps.
And out of the pit lane now emerge Schmidt, Valeriano, and Giovini. So the three of the top four drivers going out for one last attempt. They
Musím
come
si je
out
nechat
virtually
ujít.
Teďka
together
seš
on
největší
track
skupince
here.
lidí, no.
And
Tam musíš si dát prostor trochu.
this is going to be a proper shootout for the top
Jej,
position
ja
here.
zrazu vidím.
Yeah, obviously, because the real road that we have in R-Factor 2, where the actual
Teďka,
the racing line, wherever you race, gets more grippy. You obviously want to
Teďka-
ideally be the last
teďka
one
si vyjel
out,
dobře, Matěj, teďka máš čistou
just
trať
to
před
get
sebou.
those few extra thousandths of a second.
Za sebou mám jednoho.
Máš jedno, no, ale přece máš absolutně čisto.
You don't want to leave it too late. That
Ty,
you,
co jsou přede mnou, jsou
run out.
rychlejší
Pan
než
Star to
já.
opustím.
Occasionally happen.
No, Jirko, když tam pustíš ty
Seems
před
like
sebou,
it's
tak uděláš si odsouvat, tak tam máš taky
at the
prostor
moment, we have a few
potom.
more people coming
Yeah.
out onto
Už jsem je pustil, no.
the track.
Ještě za tebou
Tell you what,
jede
there are a lot of
víc.
people on track together there. They're absolutely with each other, and swapping places on the straight, just trying to find the ideal track position. Of course, in a straight line, it is actually beneficial to be behind someone because of the slipstream. But around the corners, these cars chuck up so much dirty air that the car behind gets bounced around like a pea in frying pan. And as a result, you do want to find yourself somewhere where someone else isn't usually.
Yeah, the slipstream is rather powerful in this car, however, you're not going to be able to get close enough to keep them through the corners, but talking about being close, I think the drivers have now spread out and they are all starting their final lap, so this is going to be a big flurry of times coming in the next minute or two, with seemingly everyone on to into their final hot laps. Currently on board with Valeriano as he comes through this first sector. As Joshua said, winner last time out can
Mám 2 desetiny dolů.
Jo, vidím. To je do 10. nebo ne? Na posun to není, jestli to myslíš takhle, protože všichni ostatní před tebou mají rychlejší sektor. První.
Dobre, teraz prosím ticho.
This is a real battle between the top 5 drivers. Only Coleman out of those 5 is in the pit, and Valeriano is going to be the first of the big guns to settle up. Schmidt has already abandoned, so Schmidt is back in the pits. He will not be going any faster, and that means it's now between Valeriano and Schmidt, but Schmidt is stationary. He can only sit and wait and watch Valeriano cresting the hill as Giordano Valeriano is going, I think. Oh, he's had a little wiggle on the exit of the penultimate corner. It's been a good lap so far, so maybe he can still go quicker with this. He's going around the final corner now. Run it out to the curb. Don't run over the curb. There you go. That will look fine. What's the lap from Valeriano? He's crossing the line now. It is pole! Pole for Giordano Valeriano. But will anyone go quicker? Robin Panzer still coming through to settle up. He's another driver who might well snatch it away. Only 3 or 4 tenths behind so far, and with the potential to go quicker, I'm sure. But great lap from Valeriano to take provisional pole position by just under a tenth of a second from Lucas Schmidt. It's Valeriano, Schmidt, Coleman, Giappini, and then Panzer, but Panzer is still going.
Škoda toho druhého sektoru.
No, tam som posral, neviem koľko to je za kruta, ale...
První a třetí tam byl lepší, no, bohužel na posun to nebylo, ale
Já jsem zase posral poslední sektor.
It's no improvement and he crashes it across the line.
Ale Jirko, krásně, to 12. místo, to je dobrá pozice. Ve špinále to je, no. Tak teď to má i Matěj, no.
Coleman, Giappini, Panzer, Satherley, Weeks, Leno and Lopez. So the pole position in, well, at the last minute goes to Giordano Valeriano.
Každopádně dobrý čas.
Díky.
At the end there, that was...
No, dobrá kvalifikace, Jirko.
Já nevím, jestli to mám risknout. Já bych chtěl jít 2krát na super softech, ale když to nevyjde, tak nechci jít poslední stint na softech.
Kolik ti to žere ty gumy?
Právě jak když...
Following this top 10 that I read out, we have the
já na to můžu tlačit, a nebo nemusím, že?
Drivers. Viktor Ivanov, Yuri Tsirovatsky.
Ale před závodem to
saying that name, so I'm quite impressed with myself there. Ali Hamnet, Chen Najam, Dave Paling, Arif Roslan, Carlos Hernandez, Peter Schultz, Mark Behrens, Martin Brunansky, Kevin Moorville, Pedro Gomez, Luke McGuire, who did 11 laps in set end.
Říkám, chceš pak ten onboard zase, jak jsi chtěl z Austrálie?
Já to zkusím, spíš mi potom pošli ten odlap, já to zkusím to udělat sám, protože mě se to na replay, protože mě se to předtím seklo, ale já jsem měl předtím trošku prdelý kompl, takže teďka to třeba už půjde v pohodě.
So I reckon what's happened there is he's gone out after a lap.
Víš, co je zajímavý?
Že
ještě na konci kvalifikace měníš věci, tak se tak by se tím mohli přenést do závodu, že se to ještě nelokne.
But whatever's happened, Luke McGuire starting right the way down.
So as we
A
move
Maťo to
into
bude mít
this
těžký, za ním bude
session,
hodně
I will leave a nice track
jezdců,
up.
kteří
We
budou
will
chtít
take
rychle
a
dopředu.
quick couple of minutes break here.
Maguire a tak dále.
We will come back in
A
a
Gordon
few
prostě.
minutes and we will update you with the full grid and have the
A to
race
asi
live.
risknu na ty
A
softy.
on tam teraz písal, že možno nebude schopný odzavodiť, lebo má strašné FPS.
Jo no.
Maguire?
Ty nemohl dát žádný kolo bez lagu. Jo, no to jsou ty dřevnatý počítače, no.
Potato PC.
Hlavně Maťo bacha v té první zatáčce, máš tam před sebou 18 jezdců, takže si
Takže
tam
to
ničeho
ne-
nepřiplateš.
Ja nie som Petr Kolář v
No jasně,
Bahrajne minulý rok.
Říkali to stejně jako Petr Kolář.
Ježiš, zase tma. Boha. Ale čo je to za logiku, ty vole, veď je viac svetlo. Mali by sme viacej vidieť.
Taky mi přijde, že když je světlo, tak to svítí, nebo prostě takhle. Když je tma, tak to svítí víc než teď.
No hej, to je pravda, ale prečo, ty vole, veď nech to zapnú rovnako, veď takto sa nedá jazdiť.
Nedá no. Se tam všichni rozdebe v první natáčce.
Hej, a Bruno from P20 will win the race easily.
Jasně. Všichni odcházejí se jako na furt.
To bude 10krát restartovat server asi.
Myslíš?
Já nevím, vole. Beru ze zkušeností z Austrálie.
Ten Roslan a Hernandez jsou dobrý, ne?
Roslan, jo, Hernandeza nepoznám.
Hernandez je taky dobrý.
Kolikátý skončil v Austrálii ten Berend?
Jak jo?
Berend.
On myslím nedojel. Čekej, on to jméno tady ani vůbec není, jestli vůbec jel vole, v Austrálii. Čekej. Nejel.
Mě trošku štve, že jsem nedal toho Ivanova. On byl o 80 000 přede mnou a já v tom na konci druhého sektoru jsem měl 150 minus. A v cíli jenom 60. Že to bude v háji. S tím opotřebením teď, když nic nevidíme. Nebo spíš s časama. Protože teď mám opotřebení dobrý. Tak se divím.
Mám po 2 kolách 92%.
No právě. Já mám po jednom teď 96.
34-3 na softoch.
Třeba na softech jim to docela jde, ty vole, na film.
Hej, koukám, že mám docela dobrý časy na softech.
Kdo má dobrý čas na softech?
Já? Myslím v polovině trati.
Tak ten první sektor, no nevím, ne?
Já jsem spokojený.
Oh. Ten druhý sektor je dobrý, no.
Ten třetí je taky v pohodě celkem. Hlavně to opotřebení k tomu je dobrý. Jenom nevím, jestli mám riskovat, jo. Honzo,
No,
můžeš se podívat na moji první taktiku mimo top 10, jak mám ty kola?
moment. Od startu do 16. kola softy, od 16. kola po 32. softy a do zbytku super softy.
Jo, super. Takže 16, 16, 11.
Takže 16, 16. No, 11.
Vypočítej mi 16 děleno 3.
To je 5.
Hello and
Celý 3.
welcome back to
Tak
the
75
round 2 of
děleno 5,3.
sorry, round 2 of the Ace Championship from
14,1.
I am back here
Okay.
with Joshua Penny.
To bych
and
mohl
we are
na těch
about to
16
get
kol dát,
going
ty.
for this race. Drivers are just completing their warm-up laps just to get a feel for the track
Jako na super softech.
with race fuel.
Na softech.
And the sun is
softech.
just about to set, so we are going to see darkness very soon in the next sort of 10 or 15 minutes, which should look nice with our new DX11.
Koukám, že
swings.
přede mnou jsou všichni rychlejší než já, za mnou jsou všichni pomalejší, což je fajn.
Joshua, would you like to take us through?
No to bych nechtěl, to bude nuda.
Za 13. místo jsem spokojený, přede mnou určitě.
Každý bod se počítá pro nás.
couple of minutes. I can see what
Když dám
the
10. místo, tak mám
what the server
dalších
says
50
for the
korun.
all-time laps, but
tak
that's
nezapomeň,
including
že tam
practice
určitě
as well,
budou
so I'm
dost
not entirely sure
chybovat, že
how
jo,
accurate
před
that
tebou.
is. But I will certainly run
Takže
through
by
in
se
about
jezdil
a
kolem toho
minute and
13.
a half.
místa, tak by to klidně do té desítky mohlo
One thing
být.
to note is that
Jak říkám,
David
mám 10.
Chiappini
místo, mám dalších
especially
50 korun.
has got a 5-place grid penalty. Because he qualified 4th, he will be starting 9th now, very much like Lewis
Even
Hamilton. So I was saying just
Budu
now,
muset odložit další
they did
pajsku.
exactly the same thing. Those are some spoilers for the F1 qualifying session if you haven't seen that one yet. I think the race might be on now actually, but stay where you are because in less than a minute we are going from this warm-up session to the start
Jako jsem na
of
to
the
zvědavý, ne?
Formula Sim
Uvidíme,
Racing
no.
Ace Championship round from the
Bude to
Bahrain
masakr.
Autodrome. And this
Ale
will be
Maťo taky nemá
a
úplně zlý časy na těch
75%
softech.
Grand Prix, so
No, no.
about an hour and 5 minutes, I'd say. Roughly 2 pit stops we're reckoning, but of course strategy is
Hlavně s tím
open to
opotřebením ještě, což je
interpretation,
fajn.
and it will be Giordano Valeriano
To
on
máme.
pole position.
Jako nevím, Maťo by taky by ti to mohlo dneska minut na nějaký ten bodík, ty jestli před tebou odpadne pár jezdců.
Ja v to verím.
Divím si, že ten Kevin Morville je tak špatný.
Jo, ten se hodně propadl do Austrálie.
V Austrálii vypadal hodně dobře.
V Austrálii vypadal, no.
Ty tam někomu letělo křídlo. A kolo. Viděli jste to?
use medium.
Já se díval na přenos, ale tam to nebylo.
No. To je na hovno, že nechci povolit spektátory.
Jo, no tak já jsem to už řešil v Austrálii a nechtěli mě tam.
Tady ty spektátoři si nejspíš počítají jakoby do slotu.
Tak když jsi spectator, tak to podle mě ne.
Akorát ti to tam zobrazí, že?
Já si myslím, že spectator se nepočítá do slotu.
Neměl by.
Ani na jedničce se to nepočítalo do slotu.
Když jsem koukal na ten test race jeden v Číně, tak Cameron psal Tucsonovi, že jeden člověk je v pohodě, ale kdyby tam bylo 10 nebo 20, tak je to problém.
No. To nevím, no.
Možná zátěž serveru zbytečná.
Asi jo.
Jako je to škoda, protože nemůžeš pracovat úplně napřímo, no.
Je, no.
Máte lifetimingy, kalkulačky, stream.
Tak lifetiming mám konečně od Austrálie. Kalkulačku taky. Cože?
Máš otevřený můj texták.
Jasný.
An absolute
Plná výbava profesionálního týmu.
It's certainly something to look at for how the cars are going to be at the start of this race. And Valeriano just took that session there, so he could certainly get away well. But it's not all about lap time that they'll be testing now. They just want to get a feel for the cars, and of course they won't be properly going for it like they did in qualifying. And then at the start of the race you have things like traffic to factor in as well. It's all about how your setup reacts to kind of running behind someone, running just in front of someone, running side by side, going slightly offline,
Jako na trati nebo?
But we'll have to see. Anyway, here comes the grid order. So it will be Giordano Valeriano on pole position here today, followed by Lucas Schmidt, Matthias Coleman, Robin Panzer, Tom Savely, Jordan Beats, David Mrocek.
Dneska asi nie, ale my máme našťastie archív, takže já si to hneď idem po závode
To nemám
kúknuť.
puštěný jako backstage za zády.
Ne, tak to neřekl Honza.
Nehovor nič, hej.
No tak já taky, ale jako na to se moc nedá dívat, když sleduju kluky, že?
Harley Hamnet, Sean Nayam,
Začínám říct jenom, že ten Hamilton rozbil Gaslyho a už
Ne, žiadne také. Ja nechci
Martin Brunanski, Kevin
Tak
Warbill,
hoši,
Tom
hlavně
Van
klid,
Egmond,
hodně
Luke
štěstí a
Maguire,
soustředěte
David
se
Young,
na vás,
Paris
bývám.
Palmes and Pedro
Jo,
Gomez. Those are the
Jsem rád, že už
26 drivers now.
A jinak Maťo, Hamilton to
I'm
rozbil.
not entirely sure who will win, but
Ešte sa
26 drivers have lined up for the start of this race, and away they go now on their formation lap.
Honzo,
No?
víš co jsem rád?
I'm not really sure what to
Co?
expect for this race because
Že kurva je sticha.
the pace in qualifying was
Jo,
a little
konečně,
bit
ty.
quicker than pro. So I'm wondering if it's going to be similar to the pro race. But these drivers are just that sort of next level. With
Ale
the
mě se
racing,
stejně
so I'm sure
nezbavíš.
turn one will be a lot cleaner than turn one.
Já se tě nechci
was
zbavit.
in the pro race earlier. But yes, you are about to watch.
Jako sranda, že máte ty zahřívací kolo úplně ve stejnou chvíli, jako mají Formule 1.
Právě. To je to tak úplně stejně.
Jo, no.
Oni idú rýchlejšie. To ideš fakt úplne pomaly. Chceš ušetriť každý mililiter paliva.
To spíš i pneumatiky.
Jo, aj to, ale tak keď ti idú nejaké 2% v zahrievacom kole, je to ešte v pohode.
To je dobrý, na našem vysílacím kanálu Neosoft Engineering sleduje to 7 lidí, takže 7 lidí z reální F1 sleduje vás.
Zdraví, počasí, čaute.
6 meters, but that includes your formation lap. So any fuel you can save
Honzo, to
No.
si užiješ do konce sezóny.
is very much.
Co na konci sezóny?
Říkám, že si užiješ do konce sezóny, jak tady budu nadávat na tu
Yeah,
ženskou
allows you to run a
fantičíku.
slightly
Jo, tak to
higher
vím.
engine setting in the race if you
Maťo?
do
Brzdy.
Ano.
save your,
Jo,
your fuel on
zahrievam
the formation lap.
No.
And,
Zadné gumy trochu ešte.
well, it's just always a bit of a safety buffer.
Moc
with,
nepřepínat motor
a
hlavně
smaller
v
fuel
tom
tank
zahřívacím kole
than
nebo
some
to
of these
pročadí.
drivers will be used to.
Jak
But
nepřepínáš?
anyway, onto the grid we go now,
Jako,
out of the
no,
final corner,
Moc
and
ho
Giordano
zbytečně
Valeriano
netočí.
is going to park his car in the first place of the box, which is actually on the left-hand
Já
side.
jsem zvědavý na to
here,
první
and that
záčku,
means
ty vole.
that they
U
will
nás
have
nebo u
the
nich?
outside for turn
Oboje.
one,
Na
which
celkově.
means that if second place gets a good start, they have a very
Hej,
good
ty vole,
chance of
vy
getting up
přesně
into the
dojíždíte na
turn
startovní rož jako v reálné, ty
we've seen
vole.
that
Dobré,
a couple of times at Bahrain, so P1 has to be especially careful. And talking of careful, I think Valeriano just overshot his box. He did. He's had to reverse back for it. So that's going to be a little bit of a hindrance at the start, but he's
You
lining
like
himself
that
up now.
connection?
Very aggressive slant, but positioning his car across
Jste
the
rádi
defence from
poslední.
Schmidt at the start.
Ticho.
Last place lining up on the grid is going to be Pedro Gomez, and when he's in place, the lights can come on, and when the lights go off, we will be underway
vyšlo,
for the
super.
Ace Championship here at Bahrain. So we're sitting on the grid now. The lights are very nearly about to come on. Someone obviously not quite in position yet, seeing as they're not
To
on.
úplně
Now they
zapomněl
are.
na
Here we go.
boost.
3, 4, 5, and it's go! Away we go at the start of the Ace race. And oh, very good start from Lucas Schmidt. Schmidt is going to get up to the lead on the inside, I think. He has a very good line. Look at Coleman trying to come around the outside as well. And Schmidt has the inside line. Can Valeriano hang on to it? Yes, he does. I wasn't expecting that. But Valeriano still leads the race. We're all through cleanly. That's great to see.
Niekto ma
And
trafil
Valeriano is
vzadu.
leading it as we're heading up to
Hello,
turn
vstal som
4
to.
on the first time of asking. Through he goes ahead of Schmidt and Weeks, but there's slight contact.
Někdo stojí
Weeks,
za
and I think
taxi,
that was
bacha.
Coleman briefly bumped wheels, I think, and Coleman was forced wide. Chiappini goes through. Someone's running very wide. It's Coleman again. He's losing place after place. He's about to drop down into 8th position, I feel. And, well,
Bahrain se
someone... Oh, someone's missing their front wing, and that's Peter Schultz.
Oh, that is a shame for Peter Schultz on his first race of the season. Oh yeah, Coleman is having some more issues here down in, what's that, 8th, 9th place now. So yeah, there's a bit of contact there going into turn 4, and there's a Netrex round in the background as well. I think that is, yeah, it's Victor Ivanov is
Bacha,
round.
poslední zatáčka.
So that is a shame for him as well. Unfortunately, some contact here on this first lap. But going into turn 4, there was some contact. I saw a car go up the inside of Jordan Weeks in the driller's car, and yeah, that's what caused the contact, which eventually led to Coleman being pushed wide, and now he's down into 10th place after some more scuffles on that first lap. But generally, that was quite. Oh no, that was a clean first lap, but that is Coleman being hit again. This time from another drillers. I think that might have been Harley Hamnet. Actually.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, that's not a good first lap for Coleman, and I think he might be retiring.
Oh, it was lag.
Was
It
that
was lag. Coleman lagged right back into Hamlet there. Nothing Hamlet could have done about it. And yeah, I'm afraid it looks like Coleman, well, he's returned to the pit lane with Hamlet. Out of the race we know is Victor Ivanov. He has retired the car completely. And we have 3 cars in the pits, Hamlet, Coleman and Schultz after this first lap.
Yeah, that is a shame for those drivers, as you don't really want to be seeing this on the opening laps, as it really screws their race. However, the race is long
No,
enough
dva
for
velký
them to
soupeři
come
vám
back and at
odpadli,
least
Hamlet a
try and
Coleman.
get something. Points go all the way down to 15th place here in the Ace Championship. So with a decent
Ten kokot
sprint
jezdí jak
pace,
prase.
even if you have an incident, you can generally
Ten
at least,
Berens.
try and fight for some points, as we have seen people do in the past. But it is Valeriano who is leading by 1 second from Lucas Schmidt. Now over a second actually coming out of that second sector, and then a further 2 seconds back to Robin Panzer. So he's losing touch a little bit. Hopefully he can keep up and give us a nice fight as we saw in Australia.
Tell you what, David Chiappini right back into where he should, you could say, have qualified. He's up into 4th position.
Dík.
So a good start to make up 5 places, and he looks as if he might be going for Robin Panzer here. He takes a look, but not able to go through quite yet, and
Budeš mít za sebou brzo McLaren, ten už je 15.
It wasn't quite as successful, but a couple of moves going on back in the order. That was Siravatsky now side by side with Berens, and he gets in there, and Harris Parvez poking through to the outside. So Parvez goes around the outside of Berens. He did very well in the Pro Championship last year, I seem to recall.
Well,
And
there's Luke Maguire getting past him as well, so not a good few corners for Mark right there.
no, it certainly wasn't. And Maguire making progress. He's made up about, he's made up a couple of positions so far. Oh, and out of the race, yeah, it's Matthias Coleman. So we saw him having a terrible first lap with lag issues and incidents galore. And Coleman, I'm afraid, who was extremely quick in qualifying, is out of this race pretty much immediately.
Yeah, he had about 5 or 6 contacts there. And that is Mark going up the inside of Luke, battling back. Mark is a driller's driver, but for some reason he is not in his car. But yeah, he is fighting Luke Maguire here, not quite letting that one go.
Pairing jezdí přibližně stejný časy jako ty a ostatní před tebou legálně přeskakuje, že nikdo si odpadl.
Jo, v prvej zákrute bolo niečo.
No jinak ostatní, kromě Pairinga před tebou, jezdí výrazně rychleji. Za tebou vypadá zatím rychleji Maguire, ale ten se hodně trápí mezi Parvézem a Berencem.
A někdo dál?
Jinak hodně rychle je tam Pedro Gomez na 16. pozici. Jinak ostatní jedou víceméně pomalej než ty. Maguire a Gomez byli asi ohroženi uzadu.
Jordan Weeks, and Weeks was tipped into a spin, I'm afraid, at turn 1.
And Robin Panzar there managed to just about keep ahead of Chiappini. But who is that behind? Oh yeah, that's David Mocek. Oh no, he loses the rear end. That is going to put him under pressure. Well, actually, he's going to lose the place from Jordi Lopez. So that is a fortunate move for him. And Chiappini again is going down the inside of Robin Panzar. He runs a bit wide, but this is a good battle here from these two drivers. Panzar is going to keep it around the outside again. Can he keep on the track? Yes, he can. But no, that place.
Maťo, ostatní za tebou jsou zatím pomalejší časově.
Yes, that place now down
to je super.
Chiappini.
A ten Weeks, či jak sa volá, ten má aké časy?
Weeks je rychlejší, výrazně rychlejší. On byl v top 10 někde předtím v trénincích a tak, takže ten je trochu rychlejší. A ostatní taky jezdí rychleji. Maguire, že? Jo, vidím, no. Ten se bude hodně posunovat, Maguire.
Protože ta píče jede.
Jinak Roslan 17. a Hernandez 18. jezdí rychlý časy.
Zatím se vůbec nedokážu soustředit.
Van Egmond came out on top of that one, but they're still side by side. Nayam going a bit wider than I would have expected there, but Egmond gives him room and keeps that place. So up into 8th now, with the recent incident with Southerly and Weeks. Egmond gains 8th place there.
This battle for third place is raging on. They've all got DRS again on this infield straight that they got, but doesn't look like they're quite close enough to overtake now. But because of the way the slipstream is in this mod, you can really battle people very well. As you can stay with them pretty good, as you can see here. The Dirtier is of, I'd say, moderate ability, but no, Chiappini is actually lifting off here to make sure he gets the DRS, because as I said, it is it's quite powerful, this slipstream DRS combo.
To se stalo, Jirko?
Nevím. To prasata.
Chiappini is now slipstreaming, and yes, that is like a rocket ship past him. Can he...
Zapomněl jsem na DRS. Dostal se přede mě Berenc.
A Gomez, vidím.
And Panzar,
a teď ještě Roslan. Jezdí jak prasata.
Yeah, Rocek goes through as well. So Panzar getting an absolute hip out of the way there, and through goes Lopez and Rocek, and Panzar now was fighting for third. He's now down into 6th position. Another thing I should point out is the battle for the lead has actually stayed very much steady.
Hernandez měl hodně rychlej první sektor, teďka jezdí hodně rychle Hernandez.
1 second again, so that one's certainly not over.
Já vím, proto to říkám.
Yeah, Lucas Schmidt is currently in the DRS, the 1 second gap to get DRS, so he is still very much there, and I cannot see him in any way giving up on that win just yet. There is many strategy elements that can be played out to get him ahead.
Jordi Lopez má nějaký problém.
And we've had a crash. It's Jordan Weeks again, so Jordan Weeks has gone
Lopez je mimo nebo má velký problémy.
Exactly like
Lopez je na střeše.
Jo.
Lopez, he is upside down and sliding
Tady ten je
around
out.
the track. Wow, I think that must have been an unfortunate lag incident there.
Teď jsem ale narazil, vole, Ruslana
I
a
was.
předjel mě
Out
Hernandez
of
v
the race, I'm
černu.
going to quickly get a replay of this. Yeah, he
Nestíhám
personally
se mačka od
lagged
boosty a
back
DRS,
into-
ty vole.
That must have been Roček. Wow, that was a big crash. That is unfortunate for him. For
That
the
was
American
five
driver.
times upside down, over and over and over, and sadly all caused by lag. And that's terrible to see. He's now out of this race. We've had a couple of DNS on that lap. Two big drivers as well, Lopez and Weeks, both quick drivers. Weeks just lit up the rears coming out of turn 2 and spun it into the barrier. Lopez unfortunately lagged straight back into Mrocek. Hopefully Mrocek didn't pick up any damage from that.
Je
I
tady
don't
furt
think he
někdo
did.
bourá
That looked very
prostě.
much like my accident yesterday in the checkered flag endurance series. But anyway,
Jako
Mrocek,
prasata, jako...
seems to have got away with it, and George
Že-
Lopez unfortunately
jako
doesn't
prasata.
appear to
No jezdí
have got away
jako
with it
hrozný
at all.
prasata.
Yeah, Lopez is from America, from the east coast of America, I believe. So there is probably a bit of.
Berou mě.
yeah, but that was very weird. Has to be said.
Hlavně v
Because he
klidu,
was the
Jirko,
only one who
teďka.
lagged, so it doesn't seem like it was anyway.
Máš strašně pomalý sektory teďka.
Like it was his connection, but
Já vím,
yeah,
protože
that's
jsem prostě byl
unfortunate for
daleko,
him. He was
že jo.
doing a
Nebo furt v
good
souboji.
race, to be honest, up in
Já vím, ale teďka i v tomhle kole nemáš moc dobrý sektory.
position. So I'm sure he's going to be a bit sad about that one.
Maťo je momentálně
Well,
rychlejší.
absolutely. It's always very disappointing when you get taken out by an incident that is
Chen
absolutely
Najam.
not
Já
your fault.
vím.
Tom Najam down in 10th position. He went for a bit of a late move there. Oh, is that, oh no, he's not going to spit. That's Luke Maguire taking a very
Hlavně
defensive
klid,
line.
dostaň se do tempa
Is he
zase.
worried about his top speed, but now is that Pedro Gomez? No, he seemed to lift off a little. Oh wow, Cheyenne down the inside. That is a late hole. Wow, that was
Look at
late
that.
on the brakes from Cheyenne Najam. Luckily he didn't hit anyone, but he also didn't make the corner.
Dostanu se do tempa,
So
že ty
that
dementia už
position has
zase,
now
ty vole.
gone back to Luke Maguire, who's now up inside to the top 10 as Cheyenne outbreaks himself again, coming into turn 4. So that is unfortunate for the flag-to-flag driver right there, as he was battling with Tom Van Egmond, who's now up to 7th place. So a little bit of time lost there for Cheyenne in the last couple of laps.
Tell you what, he had to go very wide at turn 4 to actually avoid running into the back of Luke Maguire there.
Yeah,
He does appear to be later braking than a lot of these other drivers.
I doubt Luke Maguire was braking early, because he's a top driver. So
Yeah.
I think Cheyenne
Jako
was
za
trying
váma momentálně žádný ohrožení není, protože ostatní jsou pomalejší.
but yeah.
Jedinej Hamnet, který měl na začátku závodu problémy, tak teďka na 21. místě je rychlejší trochu.
Because any misjudgment
Ale ztrácí hodně na vás,
could
takže
could well
tam
end up with him in
tam
the back of
ohrožení
the
není.
car in front. Let's hope it doesn't, but it could. So needs to be careful about it. Meanwhile, Tom Satherley catching David Mrocek. I reckon that gap's come down by about half a second on that lap. Satherley
Možná
having
se
a
ne, že se
quick
takhle
last
propad,
time.
jo.
Indeed, well, it was actually about 3/10 of a second it came down.
Aspoň
but,
nemusím být v tom chumlu.
still, Satherley
Jasně,
well
někdo
and
máš
truly in
klid,
the
tak
DRS
teďka to
range
chce
now
chytit dobrý
under
tempo a držet
Mrocek's
to.
gearbox. That's for 4th position, and that's one that
Tomu Hernandezovi by už mali
probably
odskazať
should be
pneumatiky, on je na
watching,
super
because
softoch.
that could well change very, very shortly.
Ale
here.
časy má furt... No, má trochu horší
Just
časy,
going
ale
towards
furt na stejné úrovni jako vy
Turns 9 and
přibližně.
10 though, the DRS activation zone, I think, is right on the entrance to that corner.
Yes, it is.
Zatím všichni na supersoftech drží
So
dobré
he'll have
časy.
it now, and indeed, open goes the DRS. He won't be close enough for a move this time round, but so long as he can stick with Satherley through the corners and get a good exit at some point, and
Ale v druhém
might
sektoru už je o
have
půl
a
sekundy
go
pomalejší
at
než
David
vy.
Mrocek. Maybe down the start and finish straight. That does appear to be the main overtaking opportunity of this lap. He's got a 6/10 disadvantage to Mrocek ahead of him.
There's some good comments that we have in the in YouTube today, noting that
A ve třetím sektoru je rychlej, no. Má výrazně vyšší top speed než vy.
so did Harris Parvez.
Tam získává, ale v tom druhém sektoru tam v těch zatáčkách hodně ztrácí na těch super softech už.
Bottom of the top 10, so they have done very well in this opening 10 laps here in Bahrain, as we are now fully in darkness.
9th, 10th and 11th for Parvez, Maguire and Lopez. As you said,
Negro
they've been
Mimo.
really climbing up the order. Harris Parvez, I believe, did very well in the Pro Championship last year. I get
Jo,
feelings
Bahrain.
that stuff and racing that. Yeah, he won it.
Oh,
So,
No, když jezdíš jak prase, tak si nemůžeš divit.
who is that?
oh, Maguire's off. Maguire went off the circuit there.
Yeah.
But it was in a straight line. That's, oh no, it wasn't. It was, oh, he's lit up the rear tyres. That's very much how Weeks went off. But he just about held it. Good save.
Get a
But he ran
replay
off
of this.
the escape route
Wow.
along the
yes.
straight.
Yeah, got a replay of that coming out of turn 2. He just.
Maguire byl
saved
taky problémy,
rear tyres. Nothing
ale jenom v
to be
krátký.
said about that.
Well, that's very bizarre. We've seen a couple of people doing
Hey,
that.
to je
again,
idiot,
actually,
ty vole.
not just in this, but in reality as
On
well.
sa vráti presne mne do stopy.
Meanwhile,
Jo, no,
there was
Hernandez
slight
prostě.
wheel-to-wheel
Absolutely
contact between
nevertí.
Hernandez
Vole,
and
to čo
Rosban
spravil?
in their battle for 13th
Ešte, že
position.
som
They got away
zareagoval.
with it. Hernandez ahead, and he's now going
To
to
byl
the
kdo?
inside of Dave Palin.
Hernandez.
So gets through on the inside of the
Další
corner
pressing.
Palin on the softer component tyre. I believe that Hernandez is on the super soft here, so
A každý
Hernandez
kolem ztrácí
taking
80
ground,
na svůj
running
best.
wide.
ty
This
vole.
is off. Coming through the.
Ooh.
Oh, and he comes back on a bit aggressive. Hits one of the
Brunanski.
Neosoft team cars.
Zamrzl live
That was a
timing,
bit
ty
of,
vole.
bit of an unsafe rejoin there, but all seemed to be okay regarding damage or whatnot. But I
Je tak.
have noticed that at the front
Bude-
of the field,
Bude na jejich straně.
the gap is up
Jako
to
vždy.
10 seconds between
Honzo?
P3,
No,
No,
Chiappini,
Pospíšil.
and Valeriano.
Jo.
So
V prvním sektoru mám na sebe 3 desítky
pulling away here a little bit.
a do cíle dojíždím se ztrátou 8 desítek.
Two quickest drivers currently on the circuit
To-
in this opening stint. As we're
a
getting
nemáš
to
problém s pneumatikama na druhém sektoru už?
I'd like to say that some of the
Mám
drivers
40% na levý přední.
thinking about pitting in the next few laps.
Protože většina, co má už problém s pneumatikama, tak ztrácí právě v tom prostředním sektoru.
Just
Mhm.
purely because
Zase mě teďka vypadl lifetime, takže já ti nemůžu říct ani sektory.
make it worthwhile.
now the majority of the front runners are
No,
on
už
the
nás
super
počul,
soft
dobrý.
component tyre. The first
On
soft
minus jednu
ones are
desetinu
actually
ve
Tom
druhém.
Van Oakland and Harris Parvez in 7th and 8th. How long do you expect these super softs can,
No, tak
can
první,
actually
druhý
last
sektor
when
máš
driven
dobrý.
like this?
On a full tank, I would
Oba dva
expect
máte
more than, say,
dobrý,
12
jak
laps.
první, tak druhý.
You know, just without tyre saving.
No tak teď se
Near the
ztratili
end of the
jenom
race, you'll probably get a
desetinu.
few more laps, but right now, probably lap 12. So are people
Answer
pitting in
box.
this lap? No, they continued, so they are really going to
No,
be
jako v
pushing
normálním kole máš
this,
sektory dobrý,
or
takže
not really pushing,
to
but they
spíš
are
se
almost
někde...
extending, making sure that they
To je
can
tím, že musím jezdit furt za těma pomalejšíma
assume
dementama.
two-stop work, and they're
Tell you what,
probably-
there were
Really,
two
jak
talking
prasata.
points as we went down there. Number one being that Robin Panzer is our first stopper on the super softs.
Oh,
Another
Answer
one being
box.
that Tom Satherley has now passed David Wojciech. So Tom Satherley up into 4th position. Robin Panzer has pitted the car.
yeah, good spot there. I was wondering when the
Vypadá to,
first
že
pit
už
stoppers were going to be.
první
but it
jezdci na super
seems,
softech jezdí do boxu.
End of lap 11 is when people are
Ooh.
going to be visible.
There was an unsafe pit
Ja
rejoin
poviem
there
tiež za
from
chvíľu, asi
Robin
za dve kola
Panzer, who came out
25% mám na
side
Ja to
ľavej
vidím,
prednej.
že toho
He just ran
16.
into the side.
Ja asi v
That's very
14
nice.
alebo
Rolling
15, neviem.
going down into turn 1. Not quite the same devastating effect. It was only wheel-to-wheel contact, and I don't think there's going to be any significant damage. But it was very, very close and quite hairy there. But they've got away with it. And Panzer is now on the softer compound, so he went from the super soft tyre to the soft compound. Also in the pit.
Jako Jirko, časy furt držíš dobrý, jako s jezdcema před sebou.
On the medium compound tyre.
And maybe he's just trying
A
to
Maťo
do
taky
strategy
zatím moc
training.
nespomaluje,
So you have
tak
to use
moc
two
moc
compounds
nespomaluješ,
of
takže
tyres.
já bych to ještě
Stejně
vydržel.
za-
Go soft
teda
and
Hernandez.
the mediums just suited him better.
Hernandez zrychluje teďka na super, nebo ne zrychluje, ale jezdí rychleji.
Schmidt is our second proper high order stopper.
A Čelo jde
Hitting
do
from
boxu.
second place
No,
and in
hodně
also
člověka
comes
do boxu.
Sadly and Wojciech, so the entire fourth place battle is in the pits.
Minimálně 5
As
lidí je
is
do
second place,
boxu.
Tom Van Egmond is in on the softer compound. I was expecting him to stay out for a bit longer, but obviously
Většina pilotů
going
na
for
super
a
softech teďka
strategy
zajela.
is the one I was expecting. Sadly is now on the softer compound. Moracek is on the softer compound. Schmidt has also come out
Ale
on
už
the softer
zajíždějí nějací na
compound, and
softech.
side by side are Gomez and Leno, and Gomez comes out ahead of those two. Out of the pits comes Luke.
Jako Maťo, já bych ještě nejel, jako drží dobrý časy.
On Dave Palin for seventh
Okay.
in the on-track order.
Yes, they were side by side coming into turn 1, and Dave Paling is now, no, he thought he was going to go for it there into turn
Ale
4.
už je to strašně nedotačové.
Chtěl bych se dostat od z těch dementů, ty.
Jako zásadní bude ten druhý sektor, no.
Couple places down, but yeah, Panzer
Nám se to nejvíc projevuje, to potřebení.
yeah, down to 17th place, so yeah, the field.
Well,
No, dvaja ma teraz predbehli.
16th now.
Ty
He
byli
just pulled the
boxy.
move on down again.
Jo, ti byli
Jsem
boxy.
hodně ztratil.
Making the move.
Ti mají úplně čerstvý pneumatiky, ale.
Yes, yeah, up into 16th place.
No, ten
No,
druhý
Will
sektor
Giordino,
nám si říkal z pomalu
Valeriano,
sekundy.
Áno,
hit this time
lebo
around.
ma tam
I
predbiehali
wouldn't
v
be
úplne
surprised.
neprehľadných zákrutách v tej vrácačke.
Yes, he's heading for the pits. So into the pits comes Valeriano from the lead of the race. We've seen that
Do boxu jede.
around this time in the race appears to be the good time to pit for the super soft runners, and he is now going on to the softs just like all of the others did.
Yeah, Harris Parvez is one to look out for here for Valeriano because Schmidt is right behind Parvez, and obviously Valeriano is
Prakticky všichni na
just
super
ahead of
softech byli
Schmidt,
boxy.
and Schmidt would have also got an undercut, so maybe this is the
Ty
where,
dvě kola, ty.
Valeriano's going to come out, but no, Valeriano's
On
going
I think
26%.
Schmidt's going to get it.
Ja
I think
19.
Schmidt's going to get it. He gets the lead. Schmidt uses the
Tak
slipstream
oba jezdíte
from
stejný
Harris
časy teďka
Parvez
nějak
to
přibližně,
take the
plus
lead for
minus.
this race. He has jumped
47.
Valeriano by pitting a lap earlier, getting on fresh rubber, and Harris Parvez
Taká
now
táborně
splits
tam
the
měl
leaders,
teďka
and
horší ten
he
druhý
has
sektor
no
díky těm
obligation to get out of the
manévrům.
way. But Valeriano gets to the inside, demotes him pretty
Nečekej
easily.
teď.
But whatever the case, Lucas Schmidt has genuinely taken the lead of the race here.
Yeah, that was very good from him. Obviously, the
Sa bojím, že
just no
Hernandez nám ujde,
refueling.
keď išiel
The
skôr do
undercut is
boxu.
very powerful, but you have to use it at the right time because you don't want to pit too
No,
early.
Hernandez se trápí na těch
Hernandez
nových pneumatikách teďka
was
spíš.
the best time, and,
Ako?
Schmidt
Že
took
se
it
spíš trápí
right
Hernandez
away.
na těch nových
Now
pneumatikách.
Schmidt is a second ahead of him.
Well, yes, and Valeriano struggling to get away from Parvez a bit. In fact, I think that the gap has actually started to come out even after Valeriano has got past Parvez. So maybe Schmidt
No,
is just
zatím je
better on these
Hernandez jenom o
tyres.
dvě
We'll
desítky
have to see
rychlejší
as the
než
stint
Týr.
progresses, but for now, that appears to be how it looks.
To v tom druhém sektoru se uvidí.
In Australia with
Ten byl z Čech taky, píče se hodně opírá, ty vole.
I doubt there's going to be a 3-stop from ACR.
Kokotí
today, so
jeblí.
it's a straight fight, and it seems
Jako
that
Bruno,
Schmidt
furt máš
is,
dobrý
is
časy,
winning
jo.
that just now. However, because Valeriano went one lap longer,
Oba dva jezdíte furt
later on in
super
the
časy,
race,
takže
Hernandez nějak nezrychluje zatím na těch čerstvých, takže zatím je to v pohodě.
excuse me, probably going to be
ještě bych
pitting
do boxu nespěchal.
Ještě ne, no.
and being on the
Okay.
fresh tyres at the end.
Kdyby jsme to dali,
Well, next pit stop at Pedro Gomez. He was
Na
on
super
fourth on the
softy.
road, although that was only after the cars had
Koľko by sme
stopped.
potrebovali ešte
He
vydržať,
is
aby nám
going to
vyšlo
come out
dvakrát super
a
soft?
little way down the order. He is probably going to be switching onto the
super
softer
softy vydržejí
compound.
přibližně
I
13.
shouldn't wonder there. And he might come out about 15th place.
Super softy máš
was
napsaný
top
11
guy.
kol.
Also in that lap was
Já
Mark
vím.
Lorenz and Kevin Morville, who is
Ale
going to be
13
down the pits
plus.
now. And he returns
Kolik by
to
se
the
musel
order
vydržet?
about, yeah, about,
43 minus 26.
well, he's in 14th. Pedro.
17 kol bys na
So
nich
this,
musel
this
vydržet a
battle
teďka
that we
je
had
No, 17.
between Chippini,
To nevydržíš.
Moroček,
ještě 3
Myslíš?
kola,
they
to
all
jo, to
completely
vydrží.
spread out
3
now.
kola.
Chippini is in 4th place, but then coming around, what's that, turn 10, but then Moroček is not even coming to turn 9.
No už Hernandez začíná zrychlovat.
In turn 9, so
A na čem jede?
they've really spread out
Na softech.
with this,
No tak já
fifth
budu mít
place
super softy, že jo?
battle, so that's changed the complexion of the race a little bit, but there was a couple of incidents from Moroček and Fanzel, of course.
Ja idem teraz do
Tell
boxu,
you what,
lebo
there
som
are a
stratil
couple of
veľa.
cars in that mix
No,
that
no.
haven't yet pitted. Dave Haling
V tom
and
prvním sektoru si hodně
Harris
ztratil
Rosland. I
Martin.
don't
Ale tam
believe
si
that
udělal
either
nějakou chybu, ne?
come in yet.
Nie, nie.
Neither has
O,
Harris Parvez
predbiehal ma
currently
pán
in
Sár,
third
tuším.
position. So there are definitely some changes to the order yet to be made, and that's actually splitting the
Já to
lot
risknu
of
na
them
ty dvakrát
and,
super softy asi.
letting Tom Satherley drop
Okay.
back towards David Moracek.
No. So I thought Savage was coming in the pit lane, but no, he is just pulling out of the slipstream, coming here to overtake Roslan coming down into turn 1, can go speed.
Ale
again,
Hernandez už zrychluje
fingers
dost.
on the brakes.
Som pred
Yes, he
Hernandezom.
can. That is a nice move there by Tom Savage,
Pěkně.
textbook with the
Nice.
DRS.
On se tam hodně trápil ty první kola.
He did this
Jo.
Mám je
race
teď nebo až v
on
příštím?
the,
Jsem teď v
soft
15 nebo v
tyres.
16.
Started the race.
Teďka
He started a little bit
Teďka je
further down as
15
well as he had to stay with the back of the grid.
OK,
Decent
tak vydržím
pace
ještě
with
jedno.
the soft tyres and managed to eventually get on the podium.
Ano, no, ale v
after
Temigu
his jobs. I
16.
think he finished 4th or 5th on the road. So
Kdybys vydržel 18 kol
if he
a
can
pak dal
do this,
média, tak by
do
se to
this
dalo
again,
dojet až
keep
do
some
cíle.
good pace
To nechci.
on these soft tyres, then he is going to be one to look out for. But he isn't really going to come into play just yet because obviously he hasn't made a pit stop.
Now here comes Satherley on Paling. This is going to be pretty straightforward, as Paling is trying to.
Tomu
well, he's on a
Hernandez
very
měl hodně
different track.
špatný
He
první
knows he doesn't have
sektor.
to fight Satherley. Satherley goes through, and in the background, Wojciech has also demoted Roslan. So those two moves pretty straightforward and have both been pulled off on that straight. Now back in the slipstream, they all get down the penultimate straight through the final corner. Now when are we expecting Paling and Wojciech to pit? Well, Paling is in this time, so Paling knows he can't battle. Oh, and actually in comes Roslan as well. So late call, but in he goes, and the two of them
Som čestne
are going
zarazil.
to now drop back through the order, and that means that up the front of the order, we're pretty
Also-
much back to how we were, except Harris Parvez is still there.
Není ode mě.
Pedro Gomez
Jo,
going
vím.
from David Jump.
Já
I
i
was
druhý Honda.
wondering.
Co?
See, I was wondering if these
A
guys
něco s
were
bouřkou.
getting to one stop because
Uníž.
they stayed out for a couple more laps, possibly looking at one stop from them. But no, they are onto the soft tyres, sorry. So that means they got to stop. Well, actually, was there onto the super
Roslan
soft,
byl v
so
boxech,
yeah,
dal
they both
super
need to
soft.
stop again.
Mhm.
Áno, ja som tesne za ním.
Probably for the opposite of what they have at the moment. But I think that looked
Sekundu aj
like
3 desatiny.
just now.
Já půjdu na super softy teď.
Sort of moved around on my screen.
Nevím, kam se zařadím.
Měl by se zařadit.
And Tom Van Egmond in P9.
Někde
going
kolem
to
14.
the
15.
No,
místa.
15.
side of Yuri. And yes, he makes that one move.
15,
Did
16.
not want to butcher
Tak
Yuri's
nějak kolem, no.
surname, so I won't.
Kolem
Sirvatsky?
Roslana Martina.
Yeah, I'll let you. I'll let you be the one who says that. But yeah, that's Tom Van Egmond up to P8, which will probably be P7.
Mohlo by ti to být před Roslana, no.
Yeah, and I wouldn't
Mělo
be
by ti to
surprised.
být před něj.
Well, actually, I'm
Tady vůbec
quite
není
surprised
vidět
by how long
to
he's
stání
done with
boxový, ty
Youngstay
vole,
there,
jsem
or
myslel, že to
sort of
přejedu.
not, because
Je
he's
to
on
na
the
hovno,
medium
no.
compound
Taky
tyre,
jsem to hledal
which is the
delší.
hardest compound we have here today. But David Young,
Jsem těsně za nima.
who still
Mhm.
hasn't stopped and is still running higher up the order, and into the pits now comes Yuri
Jde se vrátit nakonec za Martina, jo.
Sirvatsky.
Mhm.
2,5 sekundy.
Sirvatsky, there you go. In he comes, stops the car, and he goes onto the super soft tyre. So up the front of the order, we've got a mixed strategy. Some drivers starting on the super soft and going onto the soft. Others starting on the soft and going onto the super soft now. Two drivers certainly to watch towards the end of the race will be Tom Van Egmond and who was running with him, Red
Teďka
Car.
pojedete
I
ve
think it
skupince,
was
co všichni jdou stejnou
Tom
strategii jako
Satherley,
ty,
well,
Jirko.
whoever it was. A couple of drivers there started on the
Počkej, Maťo, ty jsi taky na
wouldn't
super
be
softech.
Satherley. A couple of drivers there started
Yeah.
on the soft tyre.
Aha,
They're on the soft tyre again now,
super, Maťo.
and will end the race on the super soft. I expect Pedro Gomez running just behind.
Mega
Ale
Gomez.
s tým, že
I
asi
think
zvojem
it was
skôr do boxu a
Gomez
dám
I
tam
was referring
softy.
to, actually. So
Jasně, jo.
I reckon that Gomez started on the
Vypadá to,
soft
že
compound,
McVire
now
to
Gomez
dojede
on
už na
super soft.
středních.
And will
John před
probably
váma.
end the race on the soft or the super soft if he thinks it can last that long. Of course, you only have to use 2 of the 3 compounds of tyres that you could use, but I'm sure that the
19
drivers who
plus
use
26
mediums will be
je
going for a
45.
one-stop strategy.
Jo,
Harris
45.
Parvez has gone into the pit lane. He's gone onto the super soft tyre, so it looks like it's going to be a double super soft for him.
Parvez vydržel těch super
towards
softech.
the end of the race, so
A jo,
he's
on
going
teďka
to be
přesedlal.
quick. Where can he come out? Is that going to.
Já mám trošku poškozený auto, ale jde to furt
So
stejně.
yes,
Jo.
that is quite a decent
Ja mám
position.
tiež poškodenie od toho
And there's been a
Hernandeza,
spin,
ale nedal som si to ani
and
opraviť.
that's
A tam
showing
byl jenom
Hasham,
lehký
who
kontakt,
is
co
now
jsem
retired
viděl.
from the race. He spun the car
Ako?
around.
Že tam byl jenom
And
lehký
whatever
kontakt s
the
tím
case,
Hernandezem, co jsem
he's,
viděl.
Jo.
Out of the race. Now whether he just gave up there or whether he damaged the engine.
No, jam
somehow, I
odpadl
can't
ze závodu, ale
expect
ten
him
vlastně
to
musí
are
dejmout.
about to run auto clutch in this series, but whatever the case, Nasham becomes our fifth retirement.
Now that was he spun out on the curb and he just decided to park the car. He wasn't having the
Jako zatím
best day,
spokojený nejsem.
unfortunately, for the flag driver.
Tak,
And there was a brief,
vidíme, jak se to bude vyvíjet dál, no, ten závod. Ještě
attack,
brzo nějak to.
fourth position there, going down towards turn one on this lap. Morocek had a look at Tom Satherley, wasn't able to get through. Now he's dropped back a bit, got over the curb a little bit, and well, he's going to have to catch right
Jako
back
celá
up
ta
again
vaše
and go for
skupinka
another
jezdí,
attack later on.
jezdíte stejný časy, no, v
Looking at
podstatě.
our leaders, we haven't spoken about them for 5 laps or so.
Aj rozostupy sú stále také isté, len mám pocit, že ten Roslan mi trošku odchádza.
Gap between them, but now Valeriano is obviously thinking this is a time to push a little bit more, and yeah, he's getting.
Roslan má dobrý ten druhý sektor.
This
Oh,
is
he
a
is-
properly exciting race between the two leaders, whether it be
Jenom
through
o něco.
strategy or on track. Both of those very, very exciting.
Že budu muset
Valeriano
začít dělat
now
sepy na
does
top
need
speed
to
trošku
put
víc.
the hammer down.
Ale
He
Berenc
is
a
in
Hernandez
the
to
DRS
jsou pomalejší než vy.
In the gap to Chiappini is still
Nevieš, čo
about 10
majú
seconds,
za
but the gap to
pneumatiky?
Satterley is 18
Berenc je na
seconds
softech,
with
Hernandez
20
na softech.
laps, so they are about a
Dobre.
second a lap faster than
Tak to je
that
fajn.
sort of best of the rest field, and these guys are really pushing each other at the front with some nice speed right now.
Meanwhile, our leading medium tyre starter, David Yunt, has just pitted his car and dropped to 18th position. He is now on the. Is that the? It's
A
another
ten
set of mediums.
Junt,
That's
on mal
interesting. So
medium, že?
he is going for
Na
a
18.
two-stop
mieste
strategy,
teraz.
but with the
Junt
medium tyres,
má
obviously feels
mediumky,
the tyre
ten
wears
už pojede do
particularly
konce
hard,
asi.
which is
Ale on na nich tuším aj
definitely
štartoval.
not what I was expecting.
Yeah, because that means he.
To já
he's
nevím,
done
to
20
to jsem se
laps,
nedíval,
so
na
that
čem
means he's gonna do
startoval.
another 20 laps, which means he's only gonna have 3 laps on the super.
Také mu
So
někde
Dá sa
ještě,
to pozrieť?
hopefully he knows that he
Já,
needs
mě
to
to tady
use two
neukazuje
different
pity.
compounds
Když na něj
of
kliknu.
tyres, 'cause he was definitely.
Jo, to bych si tady rozhodil na tomhle času asi celý.
And,
Jestli to otevřít v novém okně.
I didn't see him earlier.
Valeriano's taken the lead. Valeriano has taken the lead of the race.
Mně to
He's,
ukazuje jenom
well, it
sektory,
looks as
ale
Smith
ne.
had a very
pity.
bad exit to the
Ukáže ti
corner
to
before.
číslo.
Whatever the case,
Počkej,
Valeriano has
počkej.
just blasted past him in a straight line and taken the lead of the race. His top speed, no, it was just that Schmidt seemed to top out at about 185 miles per hour. Valeriano was accelerating up to
Jo,
200.
tak on
That was amazing.
byl v
I think
19.
that shows
kole
the difference
a jel na
between
střední.
a normal
A
straight
teďka jede
and one
zase na
assisted by
střední.
slipstream and DRS.
OK,
Whatever
takže
the
ide
Pojede
ešte
do
raz do
Valeriano.
boxu.
Valeriano, like a rocket
Fine.
ship, has passed
Takže
Lucas
musí ještě,
Schmidt
no.
for the lead of this race.
Yeah, I'm sure there must have been some fuel mixtures going on there because that was quite a big difference in speed, and Schmidt was definitely very low on speed. I'll stay on board with him now, and we'll see what his top speed is on this lap.
Jako
Maybe
nelíbí
he
se
was
mi, jak
just
jezdím
saving a bit of
pomalu.
fuel, but potentially a little bit
Jako
too
zatím na
much.
někoho, že
Just
byste
thought, okay,
někoho
let's
měli dotáhnout,
just
to
let
nevypadá, no,
Valeriano
časově moc.
through, because he didn't
To je
exactly
tím poškozením, že jo.
unless he is struggling with fuel
Ono to
usage,
uberalo
because it is
trošku top
quite
speedu.
marginal around this track.
Trošku dosť.
On i Maguire na středních pneumatikách jezdí. Stejný časy jako vy.
You can run in, 'cause if you didn't know, these cars have 7 mixtures, and you need to sort of run on 2 or 3, but it's very marginal which one you can get away with. But yeah, it looks like Valeriano here is pulling.
Já doháním teď trošku Maťa i Roslana.
Top speed's a lot
Hej.
higher on
Mne
this
to
lap.
neťahá.
Almost 10 k's
Maťo má
quicker, so
problémy
he's
v tom
definitely
druhém
doing
sektoru.
something last lap.
Yeah, and the gap now out
Ale jsme na
almost
bodech
9
teď, no.
tenths
To je
of a
fajn.
second, so still
Snad tam majú
the
stredné.
DRS is Lucas Schmidt, but well, certainly dropping back a bit. So whatever the case, Lucas Schmidt loses the lead after gaining it through the pit stop stages, and Giordino Valeriano is in
Já
a
mám to
very
speed
good
pomalejší než
position
plnou,
in this
tyjo.
race now.
Ale za vama
It's
nejde
all
nikdo
going to be
rychleji.
down to who does what around the final pit stop time. I expect that they're going to be trying to.
Luk chyba.
Well, I don't know if they
Predo
can
mnou je.
run these softs
Neviem,
long
či má
enough to
predné
go on for
krídlo,
a set
lebo
of
nejako
super softs
dementne
yet.
ide.
I'm sure if they would, or if they could, they try it.
Maguire hodně
Maybe that's what they're doing.
zpomalil.
Whatever the
Teďka je
case,
před vama.
there's going to be one more stop we
V
expect.
prvním
from
sektoru
the,
udělal
the
nějakou
front
chybu
runners.
asi.
And well, do you expect that will be onto softs or super softs?
I would say they're probably going to have to.
Masívně
go
ma
to soft
zpomalil, ty
tyres,
vole.
Yeah.
Because they pitted, I think a little bit too early for that to happen. Because even if they pit on lap 12 both times, they need 19 laps and stuff. So yeah, I think it's a little bit too much. They're going to have to run two soft compound of tyres. So Valeriano pit one lap later.
Jako
So
ta
Schmidt-
Austrálie
so
se
it's
mi
good
líbila
that
víc, tyjo.
he's got ahead because Schmidt is going to obviously get an undercut. So Schmidt was ahead when they came out the pits. He'd be even further ahead.
Tohle je
So this is
stračka
good
trať.
for Valeriano, but I'm sure Schmidt is actually going to try and overtake him on track and not just the strategy as well.
Tell you what though, I thought Schmidt was dropping back. He really isn't. Their last laps were pretty much identical. So Schmidt is sticking with him, but well, just seemed to lose out down the straight when Valeriano had about a 15 mph higher top speed. Quite incredible. Just checking the YouTube comments. Someone, Matt Gaming says, how has Arif done so far? Arif Roslan currently running in 12th position. Was running in 13th a while ago. I think someone around him's made a pit stop there. And yeah, he's doing okay in the Invictus Motorsport car there.
Chceš bojovat nebo mě pustíš?
Nie, poď predo mňa.
But Dave seems to come out on top of that and is
O, na
sitting
ďalšej.
third right now. Yeah, that is him sitting in 12th place.
Tak
Yeah,
chodíš tu, no.
The battle for the lead actually came down to about 7/10 of a second. Well, nearer to 8 through the second
Já chtěl jet
sector.
jenom vedle
Now
tebe.
it's come out
A
to
to by
about
aký malo
a,
zmysel, že sme sa obidva
second.
spomalili.
And they come up to blue flags.
Teraz
spomalil.
sú henty
Seems to be remaining
Roslan a
steady.
neviem
That's
čo
the
úplne
blue
v
flag.
riti a môžeme ísť do
Just the
prdele.
car coming out of the pits, Peter Schultz.
6 sekúnd či
I thought
koľko,
that would
no.
be an opportunity, but Peter
To už nedoženiem.
very well, so that is
Oh,
that is
Roslan nejezdí rychlejší časy než vy.
if at all. So yeah.
Nejezdí?
Jezdí
Definitely stay
rychleji
with
než
him.
vy.
Maybe he's just sort of running to I don't know,
Jedinej
maybe a
jako
tyre plan or a few plans.
teďka můžete nějak překonat,
So he is
také před vámi ten Maguire, no.
he's not losing Valeriano, so he seems to be actually in control.
on má mediumky, že on už
On má
nepozerá.
mediumky, no.
So,
The two Neosoft Engineering cars have swapped places.
and
Branansky gave way to Siravatsky. They are currently running 14th and 15th and catching Luke Maguire, who is doing something interesting down the starting straight there and seems to be losing a bit of time. So
David,
A přijde mi, že
David
všichni tu
Moshe,
jezdí jak
yeah, he's
dementi.
very close to Tom Savley. They were very close.
Já
in
bych
sector
řekl, že to nebude
one,
jenom.
but nothing seems happening regarding an overtake. He is definitely going for this fourth position after
Bohužel.
being ahead of Savley at the beginning, but then obviously losing a bit of time through some contact. But no, he runs a bit wide there, and that's that shot's gone down into turn one. Gonna have to catch back up again a little bit. And how is Schmidt doing? He's a
well, it appears that he
way.
Ten
pulled
kokos to
into
hrozně
about.
kličkuje, ten
Well, no, he
Maguire.
actually gained on that lap. His last lap was quicker than Valeriano's. It appears he pulls to about 7/10 of a second behind Valeriano in the second sector, and then drops to about a second behind him again in the third. He's done that the last, I think, 3 laps. But all it takes is one little
A
mistake
chtěl bys
from
to stát přes
Valeriano.
toho Maguire, ten vás bude brzdit asi,
and
minimálně v tom druhém
goes
sektoru.
Lucas Schmidt, so
Yeah.
he needs to be careful. As
Ostatní sektor jezdí stejně jako vy, ale ten
Again,
druhý mi
the,
přijde, že tam je
Neosoft
pomalej.
Jsem před
has
ním.
Jo,
swap
nice.
places and then swap
Nevím,
back
jak,
again.
ale jsem.
I think I saw something change
No,
in
teď
the
mě
order
dá.
down there.
Yeah, they're doing well in the points.
Big
Their
wheel.
second ever race in the
Dement.
Formula Sim Racing Ace Championship, first season both for the team and the drivers there. Doing very well. They got points last time out in Australia as well, I'm pretty sure. So yeah,
Ty vole, čo robí?
not that bad.
A už
To
je
je
za mnou.
Dement.
Boha!
But I think Branansky made a mistake there. He
Čo
dropped right back
spravil,
from
idiot,
Luke
ty
Maguire.
vole?
No, it was actually
No,
Oh, no,
that's
but
an
why was it
amazing-
hit?
One múre, poškodenie celé,
Yes, they're about to-
závesenie,
Wow,
koniec.
wow, that was almost
To je
a big spin from
kokot, ty vole.
Maguire, but he actually got hit,
Megiur, že jo?
by Yuri,
Na čo
which
vôbec
actually
ide do
brought
toho
Maguire
závodu,
back
keď má
into
hen
a
také
straight
lagy?
line, so that is pretty
Podáme pak
fortunate for
protest
him actually.
na toho
I'm
kripla.
not sure about any damage, the contact was quite minimal, but oh wow, Luke had a lag
Jo,
there.
teď to bylo
Luke lag,
v
and
liveu.
he's now...
No, ty
Oh
vole.
wow, and he's lagged again,
Ty
and
vole.
that is going to be Luke
No.
out of the race. That is definitely going to be Luke out of the race.
Ty
Oh,
vole.
that's
Myslíte, že
terrible
mi
to
to
see
opravia?
because oh yeah, he's flipping.
No, tam bylo hodně
over,
závažně
which
poškození
Luke
zavěšení.
Fowler, I'm afraid.
No já idem do
well,
boxu,
seemed to
ale...
By
be
upadlo kolo,
lagging all around.
Ne, ale bude
It's
mít šíleně
like
poškození zavěšení, to se obávám, že s tím
there's no front wing on that car, and that's a shame because that was a good battle.
Where is
Which I'm
Maguire?
afraid.
Yeah, Maguire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a shame. Just as he was saying how good the Neosoft cars
To
were
je
doing.
debil, ty vole.
Yeah, he's
Neskutočné,
gonna
ty
have to
vole.
come back to. Is he crabbing on the straight as well? So it might be
Mohli sme
suspension
zase
damage.
obidva byť na bodoch
That's
úplne kľudne. Stačilo
Absolutely,
dojsť do
it was a
cieľa a
big
on...
hit.
fair, man. Oh,
Ježiš
sorry, it's actually
Maria.
back onto Murchek. They are batting again once it's turn 4, but Savvy managed to hold him off. So it seems that the ACR car
Mě taky sejme
Murchek
těsně
was
před
locked through the
cílem.
beginning part of the lap, probably because of the DRS down to turn 1, but then Savvy seems to be able to hold him off into turn 1. Yeah, it's a shame for Maguire because he already wasn't having
Po
the best
závodě
of races
napíšou,
in the
budu hodně
world.
ironický.
And now that incident with Martin unfortunately looks like just a simple lag. Well, the car stops and the other one, yeah,
Nič.
just hits them.
Špatný.
Nothing they can do really.
Hej, musím mať skoro
Yeah,
Koľko
happened to
to
me
je?
just yesterday in the
polka z
Czech Flag
90.
Endurance Series race.
Tak
45.
zatočím.
I
No,
was just driving
45
along, minding
stupňov
my own
zatočím,
business, and
no,
then
to je...
next thing I knew, I was inside another car, and my car was on fire. So
Jo, sorry guys, ale nemohol som za to.
certainly didn't end
No,
well
my
for
jsme to
me,
viděli.
but anyway,
To
still
říkali
leadership within
komentátoři.
the DRS range of Valeriano, and he
Já
still
jsem sledoval
opens
čas, já
the
jsem
DRS
moc
flap on
nevnímal,
every
ale
straight. But
nějak toho
this is
komentovali,
just
nevím
for the
teďka.
purpose of sticking with Valeriano. He hasn't been able to get
Take
close
it,
enough
take it,
for an
fuck.
overtake yet.
It's alright.
Oh, and into the pits now comes the entire battle between Sadley and Rocek. Both
Nevadí,
of them
budu
in.
měl to nebyla tvoje chyba
So
vůbec,
Sadley and
takže...
Rocek are both in the pits now from
Škoda.
4th and 5th positions. And
Prvé
This, I
DNF
don't
od
think
leta
will be their final
2016, ktoré nebolo zapričené internetom, tio.
Jednou to
well, it's soft again, it would have to be. So they might just make it.
16
Yeah,
laps. Yeah, that should be just about doable,
Macho?
especially on
No.
lighter fuel.
To je jako já Baku.
yeah,
minulý
okay.
rok.
Yeah, you make
Taky
a
to
good
přišlo
point
po
with the
2
lighter
letech
fuel.
už.
So
I think that's just about
Ja
doable.
som mal síce vypadnutie Suzuka
Yeah, I
2017
worked about half lap ago.
A-
To je internet.
I just
a Mexiko, tiež internet dvakrát.
as I did that, he was getting very
Nehodu som
close
už nemal
to, Robin
no 2
Panzer.
roky v Nemecku 2016 si pamätám.
He himself had a little bit
Tam
lag and loss
v
of
prvej
so-
zákrute som preskočil cez
Yeah,
obrubník
he's doing
a
very well here in 6th place.
Som
He's
letel.
sort of on strategy. He's there on pit stops as well.
Ten
so
dement tam
not
furt je.
bad from
mne písalo, že mal suspension damage, že odstúpil.
Jako já jsem koukal, že odstoupil, ale furt je na
Mick
serveru.
Maguire in the YouTube chat
Tak,
says
no,
this
já
is
si
Já mám
nevím.
ridiculous.
ukázaný, že McVeigh je boxer
Track
normálně
wasn't working
nastavený.
for me, FPS lag, and
Macho?
I don't know
No.
why.
Budeš tady?
It's fine. Every time I put
Ako?
the power down, it lags
Chcel
like
som si
spit.
skúknuť formule,
So,
no.
No říkám, jakoby,
very
jestli to
bad
budeš
luck
koukat,
from
budeš i
Mick
tady.
Maguire,
Asi
and
nie.
his
Okay.
race has ended
Alebo
in
ak
a way
chcete,
that
tak môžem
doesn't
kľudne
Jestli to
ostať do
seklo.
konca.
his fault, and
Co?
that's always irritating.
Dobrý,
Oh,
ty
it's a
vole.
front wing.
Boha,
Just
to by
use
čo
that
bolo.
Počítaš na 5
as
vteřin.
they were
vole.
going down towards
To by
turn
bolo
4.
jak
That's not
has.
where Polanski was front wing.
2,5
So
vteřiny jsem ztratil.
something's happened.
No ne, na
But
test na
it
tebe
doesn't
ztrácí
appear
dost.
to be,
Výtok.
well, whoever it is, it's no one who hasn't had. There's no one running without a
Ale
front wing.
doháněl jsem přece u Pansara, nebo Roslana.
someone losing loads of time and I can't see it. But yeah, as we speak, Pedro Gomez is in the pit lane along with another ACR car. Who was that? Robin Panzer. It was going into the pit lane as well. So they are now
Maťo?
sort of a bit
Mhm.
lower
Ty už jdeš teda?
down, but the cars ahead of them are
Ešte sa
still
kúkam na ten incident.
Lino and
Já jenom aby mi pak kluci řekli, jak to vypadá v reálním.
I think it
se
was a
nedívám na
glitch
reál,
actually, because the front wing just seemed to kind of spin and then disappear. So I'm wondering.
Ale ja
whether
si
it's
idem
over
do
there in the
reál
first
do
place,
začiatku.
whether-
do you know what colour
The,
it was?
Dobre, videl som ten incident. Potom sa niekedy pozrieme na zoznam Hirko, hej?
Musíme podat protest.
No určitě.
Into the pits now comes Mark Behrens,
Dobre, ja idem.
who
Majte sa
does
pekne,
appear to have
čaute.
quite crabbing steering. So
Oh,
I'm
that
wondering.
might be the red front wing. 'cause-
Yeah, but he's still.
Honzo.
No,
No.
Oh,
Napiš si
no,
dva
sorry.
protesty.
The
Hernandeze,
angle I was at,
nebezpečný
the
návrat
front
na
wing,
tráč.
is 'cause it's actually
A
black.
tohle kripla.
That's why I thought we had no wrong. But yes,
A koho?
Well, I tell you what, his steering's in the right direction.
Tohle kripla.
That's really not in the right direction, actually. So maybe Mark Behrens has been involved in some sort of incident
Magor
because
a
that
Hernandez.
Oh,
absolutely
wow, yes.
direction.
That is massively out. That is... That I've never seen someone continue with that much. That is almost 45 degrees. That's probably about 35 degrees of...
Jako já se bez pytle nedostal ještě na
Yeah,
300 km
absolutely.
za hodinu.
Quite dramatic.
That's
But
super.
Anyway, well done to him for.
jako vy máte
continuing
jeden
in
z
this race. I wasn't
nejmenších
expecting that to happen.
direktor
In fact, I
speedu.
found the culprit. Yeah, he's now. What's happened is he's gone to the inside of Carlos
Minimálně
Hernandez.
dá
This
z té
is
první
about a lap
15.
ago, and he's properly clouted him under braking. That's not under braking, surely. What's now? How's that happened? He's just kind of
Veselý Honzo.
got some sort of
No,
Koukáš na
boost on
reálný.
Hernandez. Has Hernandez lagged?
taky.
Jaký je pořadí?
What's actually happened?
Vettel, Bottas, Raikkonen,
he's kind
Hamilton,
of
Gasly,
lagged back
Magnussen,
into
Hülkenberg,
David
Alonso, Van
and
Dorn,
it's Jans
Ocon,
from whom
Grosjean,
he seems to have
Perez,
popped off and then
Ericsson,
appeared
Leclerc,
back again.
Hartley,
And
Stroll,
Behrens has
Sainz,
got
Sirotkin,
really
Verstappen s Ricciardem
bad
nepokračují.
steering.
To je celkem good.
Weird.
Sorry, Lucas Schmidt is coming in the pit.
Tleskám Gaslymu, že
Lucas
se
Schmidt's
drží na
coming in the
pátém
pit,
místě.
but the gap went up to almost 3 seconds
Jedu do boxu.
over the last couple of laps, and there's someone behind him pitting as well. But yeah, Valeriano
Nebo nemám
stays
vydržet
out
ještě
as
jedno kolo?
expected.
Jako ty časy nemáš
Is that Mark?
Behrens
úplně
again.
zlý.
Behrens again, I'm
Yeah,
afraid.
something obviously wasn't
Kolik je to
fixed,
dokonce?
or he got stuck.
13.
But yeah, that is
Tak to
Lucas
ještě
Schmidt.
zůstávám.
He's going to keep P2 from Harris. Is he? That is going to be is Harris part of this? Is he? Yes, it is. Yeah, Schmidt keeps that. So yeah, Harris is now up into P3. Well, obviously he needs still some time to make up to get to that. He needs to make up some time on Chiappini to actually keep that position. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, still very good performance from him thus far.
So further retirements in this race. Martin Brunanski has retired after losing his front wing a couple of laps ago in an incident that really was not his fault, I'm afraid to say. David Yunt is
Honzo,
out after his
ano.
collision with Mark
Můžu tomu
Behrens,
kriplovi pak
and
ironicky
Mark
napsat.
Behrens is out after his collision with David
Ser na to,
Yunt.
já
So
na
it's
něho
been 3 more
napíšu
times last
protest.
time I mentioned it, and that brings our retirement total in quite
Mám mu napsat?
quite an
Napiš
attrition
mu, já
back
napíšu
race, up
protest
to
normálně
9.
na něj.
Já jsem mu chtěl napsat, že pěkně zajel závod.
So is Valeriano going to come in the pit lane? Yes, he is. So let's keep an eye on where Lucas Schmidt is, because Lucas Schmidt, as I said, dropped to a second or so, but
Jako vyjádřit se můžeš, no.
he's obviously going to get the undercut.
To nechám na
So I
tebe.
think
Now this is where Schmidt.
Yeah, this is going to be close.
Jsem rychlejší než Ruslan přede mnou trošku.
Excellent.
Jo, to je ten... Ruslan má před tebou stejný pneumatiky jako ty. A je pomalejší, no. A je na nich o jedno kolo víc než ty.
Jede do boxu teď jako já.
Ale ostatní před Ruslanem jsou výrazně rychlejší.
Now that was where.
No výrazně, no. Výrazně ne.
Second and a half due to the undercut. But yeah, he is
Ten kripl jede přes moje boxový stání.
to keep fighting, and he's Valeriano does have newer
Poslan,
tyres,
Jo.
but Schmidt will already be in the groove of them, so we'll see how.
Já pak nevidím, kde stojím, prostě ta píča jedna za stranami.
Tom Van Egmond is in the pit lane as well, doing a decent race.
Honzo,
No.
No,
Coming out in 10th
sorry, ale
position.
tohle to jinak nejde.
Now that was where Lucas Smith
Co
of course
nejde?
gained the lead before
No, nemluvíš
with
prostě.
the undercut, but it hasn't
Ah,
quite
to
worked for him
nějaký
in the same
situaci
way this
chápu.
time. He is still though within a
jak se
second
to
of Valeriano.
vyjadřuješ o
So
mým
the
týmovým
gap is pretty
kolegovi?
much as it was.
On je tvůj týmový kolega?
And still
Ale
plenty of time for things to change
no.
there. They're both on the super
Okay,
soft
did
tyre
it again.
recently, so they both feel that they can go to the end. Schmidt's going to have to do 14 laps on that tyre, but that's
Polovina
safe
lidí,
with
co
the
jezdí
lighter
tady,
So
by tady jezdit
we'll
ani
see
neměla.
how that
Jaký jsou
ends up
prasata.
playing out. Valeriano currently leading the race, Schmidt
Oh,
in
sure.
second, Parves is in third, but remember Parves is running a different strategy to to the rest of these guys up front. So time for things to
Komisařovat
change
ten
there.
závod, jak tu komisařujeme na, na SPHčku, tak 90% pole má
Well, it's
také
going to be
plastry, že?
definitely between Valeriano and Schmidt in this race. They're already 1-2 in the championship, and into the pits comes Harris Parves.
Yep, Harris
Jako
Parves
on je to
coming
zase
into
docela
pit lane.
velký
This will be his
umíráček,
final
tyjo,
stop, I
protože
assume for
zase 17 jezdců pokračuje na
Yes.
to.
Takes another set of
No,
super
říkám, prasa to.
going to come out as this battle. Tom Savley, as I click on him, is going down the inside of.
Morville bez boxů furt.
Is that Mojček? Yes. So Savley has
Morville.
DRS'd him. Oh, Mojček almost runs into the back. Wow, that was very close.
Morville teďka je v druhém stintu, ale už pojede do boxu.
Aha, já mám furt bez boxů.
Protože Morville už jede 16 kol na druhé sadě
Možná
softech.
strategy. So this is
Takže on musí jet teďka do boxu nějak Morville.
and with those super soft tires can probably go and challenge ahead because Gomez is on the soft tires as well as Mojček and Savley. So
Teďka jezdíš
got a
dobrý
few seconds
časy,
to catch up,
ale
but
lepší
he does
než
have about 10 laps to do.
Rostlan.
Well, he knew it would be a tough race for him starting near the back.
Belling,
Harris Parves
možná
has
taky.
done a great job with the strategy to get his way
Belling
up
going
through the
down.
field, and it looks as if he is genuinely on for a 7th position, possibly even higher. So
Moc velká ztráta.
we'll see. He's just got a straight run to the end now, and it's about
Pelling přesedlal, no.
keeping his nose clean and making sure he doesn't make any mistakes.
Jako
And,
na Pellinga tam není velká ztráta,
as,
ale on je
Mojček
teďka
and
na
Savley
čerstvých
again
super
are
softech
close
jako
together
ty.
on track. These two have been battling for the entire race.
It's been nice
Já
to
mě
battle
se furt
between these two, I have to say.
neodsekl
After
lifetime.
Mojček went behind, I
Yeah.
think Mojček is
To
a
Hernandez.
little bit faster.
Hernandez.
Savley's doing more than enough. Very good job
Hernandez
himself
sice má,
to,
no on je
keep
taky na
Mojček
čerstvých,
behind.
teďka všichni kolem tebe jsou na čerstvých, jak před tebou, tak za
The
tebou.
ACL going to get another opportunity here. Let's quickly see.
A Hernandez jezdí zatím podobný časy jako ty, minimálně první sektor má na stejné úrovni. Ale v druhým hodně ztrácí.
Far back actually, we lost a bit of time in that third sector. And always big on the brakes though, so he's going.
Jinak s Rostlanem jezdíte
right up to
zatím
Savley.
totožně minimálně tohle kolo.
Yeah, that is not going to happen.
Tohle
just
kolo bylo
this
jaký?
lap.
Já mám 31,8.
But he's going to be trying as he has the whole race.
O něco rychleji,
Mojček's actually done,
o něco maličko, je jenom rychlejší než Rostlan.
before he started in FSR.
Hernandez je, ten vás nebude ohrožovat.
And he's doing pretty well here.
Ten vypadá to, že úplně nestačí na té
absolutely.
super měkké.
He is. Mojček just behind Tom Savley. Still definitely
Divím
time
se, že
to
Morville
change that
furt
and also
pokračuje.
the lead,
tyjo.
because the lead gap through the last 2 checkpoints, I think, has
On
been
ještě
7 tenths of a second, so
nenasadil
that's
druhou
even
směs
closer
a už je
than it was
18
before.
kolo na softech, takže
And
ten
Schmidt is doing a
to
great
vůbec
job
nepočítej
of
Morville.
holding on to Valeriano. It's 6 tenths of a second.
Ten
He's
stejně
going for it
ztrácí
here.
strašně
He
moc.
might well be probably going for an attack here down towards the final corner, and then, well, he'll be setting himself up here for the run down towards turn 1. Could it be this lap that things change between the two leaders? I don't think it is quite close enough, but he's certainly closer than he was. And Schmidt is definitely showing his intent as the race winner here. Lucas Schmidt certainly going for it.
I don't think Schmidt's got the top speed, you know, because he's
No.
definitely got lower top speed anyway. And on that straight just now with DRS, he barely got to 310 when I know Valeriano had slipstream, but when Valeriano came past, he was like 320 or something. So Valeriano's definitely got top
S Rostlanem je
speed.
to
So this is
furt
going
na
to be
stejné úrovni.
quite difficult for Schmidt, I feel.
Mhm.
He's going to have to really get close into that third sector because obviously you have the long drag.
A Pelling jezdí přibližně taky stejně jako vy, o něco pomalej.
Where if you got high
No a
limits, just
tam to asi stačit nebude do konce závodu.
maybe his setup is more for
Na
the
Roslana?
race, but
Na Pellinga. Na Roslana možná jo,
just
ale
needs to keep it through these fast corners.
no na Roslana by to mělo stačit, jestli budeš držet tohle tempo a Roslan bude furt přibližně ty 2 desetníky na kolo pomalej.
Just about within the slipstream.
Další 4 tam ztratil Pelling, ale tam už je moc velký
With the
rozdíl.
7 mixtures that you have,
Jako
if
Pelling by
we
musel
run two
ještě
extra
zpomalit,
two,
no.
extra three this race,
Sice-
Udělat nějakou
to
chybu.
make it to the
Nebo
end.
chybu,
If you
no.
want to push a little bit, you have
A teďka měl hodně rychlej první sektor Pelling.
The increase is a fair amount, and yeah, he's definitely a lot closer on this race, on this.
Teď prosím ticho konspirační teorie.
This lap.
I should say.
Musím ho
before we got
dohnat.
there. And yeah, Lucas Schmidt, he's going to. Not. Oh no, maybe he is.
It's
Yes.
less than half a second. Watch this. He's on the inside. He certainly took a speculative look, made Valeriano go defensive, and now he'll be right back on him as we head up the hill again, he doesn't really have the straight line speed, but he's certainly able to get alongside him with the slipstream and the DRS. And Schmidt is very, very close. The gap as they crossed the start-finish line was registered as less than half a second. They spotted that he was going to go for it. He did, but he wasn't quite close enough to get himself fully alongside. He was certainly very close to it and had to back out of it. Valeriano still leading the race here, but only just.
Yeah, and sadly, Mocek even has got past Sadly in the background on that last lap as we were watching Schmidt do that overtake attempt. So yeah, Mocek is now finally passed Sadly up into 4th place, and Ciappini's just having a little bit of a lonely race right now on his ones in 2nd place. But yeah, Schmidt. That see, because Schmidt's got to get so close. He's going to. I don't think he's going to be able to challenge every single lap like he did, but we can now see that he's definitely able to overtake. He needs to set it up correctly to get the momentum out of a few cars to build up to it. But again, he's fairly close here, but again, not quite. I don't think.
Into the pits quite late comes Kevin Morville. Unfortunately, that's dropped him out of the points position, so obviously he couldn't quite go to the end on this set of tyres. Still about 8 laps to go. He pits the car and drops to the back of the remaining order. But yeah, Lucas Schmidt still right with Giordano Valeriano, and that is one that could still change. There's some traffic up ahead. That's Peter Schultz, yes.
Yep.
And well, we saw him getting out of the way nicely before, and he does again. There he goes, and through go the 2 leaders. So down towards the difficult double left-hander turns 9 and 10. Not so many lockups today as I was expecting. I've seen plenty of cars locking up their tyres there before, but not so much today as I've seen in the past. But that's definitely a good thing. And Schmidt still sticking with Valeriano. Of course, the difficulty is that it's all right setting your car up for cornering ability. It certainly does you well in qualifying, but when you come to the race, you can't overtake in kind of mid-corner. So down the straights, that's where you need to make up time in a race, ideally. But anyway, he's still going for it.
He's a lot closer this lap. He's a lot closer. Does his car have the legs? He's got to over 330 kilometers an hour. He is going on the outside. Can he outbrake Valeriano? Not quite. Can he hold it into turn 2? So no, he had to back out that one. That is unfortunate. That was a good attempt from Schmidt, though. He had to try that, to be honest. But that was probably his best.
Brave.
Yeah, that's probably his best opportunity just yet. But Valeriano managed to hold on to that nicely, just chopping his nose into turn 2, so Schmidt had to back out of it, or they would have crashed. But luckily nothing, not luckily, because skillfully nothing happened.
To add insult to injury, the lapped Harley Hamnet did just pull exactly that manoeuvre on Peter Schultz at the same corner, but he's now lost that place back again at turn 4. Although it was quite funny seeing Lucas Schmidt not managing to pull the move, and then Harley Hamnet managing exactly that, being the next car through. But anyway.
You have to have a lot of trust to go around the outside of turn 1, which obviously is the inside for turn 2, because the person on the inside can easily just run a little bit wide and make your line for turn 2 really tight. And if it's really tight, you've got no chance, because you have to slow down anyway just to make the corner when it's usually, well over 50% throttle.
Absolutely.
How close is he this time? Yeah, he's a bit further away, so yeah, he's not going to quite get the full effect of the slipstream. So that is he needs to build that up. Oh, who's this? Harris Parvez has caught up to, or just about caught up to Pedro Gomez, and Pedro is defending heavily into that final corner. I assume Harris will get the DRS that's gone to him yet. He will have the DRS, so he's going to be going for a top 5 place here, as he did last time out. Our pro champion from last year. moving up to ace this year in the Musto squad.
Now onto the back straight. Lucas Schmidt's still right with Valeriano. Time is running out. Schmidt needs to get very creative now. If he is going to pull this move on Valeriano for the lead of this
Coś
race.
tam?
This has been an absolutely thrilling one so far. Very, very tense. Whenever you see a car following another one like this for the entire race, less than a second apart most of the time, that's when it gets really, really tense for the drivers and the spectators alike. Siravatsky now side by side with Roslan down through turn 1. Siravatsky gets the place, Roslan right back with him. As they accelerate up the hill, he goes to the outside now, does Roslan at turn 4. And looks as if Siravatsky is just going to run him out of road there. Now down the start-finish straight, Schmidt less than half a second behind Valeriano. Does he go for the lead? He pulls to the outside. This is what he challenges. And Schmidt, they bang wheels actually. He tries to hold on. Does he? Is he braver? No.
I thought you could tell then he also thought, nah, this lap I'm going to keep my foot in. And that almost ended with Valeriano spun round from a front to rear contact, but he pulled out of it last minute. But I was looking at that thinking, wow, that is going to be a crash, but somehow it wasn't, and they live to fight another day. But this is turning into an awesome battle here. They've been battling the whole race themselves, and the gap that they got to the other cars is just unbelievable considering they are battling so much, losing time here and there from defending or going offline, etc. But yeah, that was quite a ballsy move from Schmidt.
And Parvez has passed Gomez. Now I said that Parvez from now on would just be trying to get it round and not hit anything, but he's properly attacked. He's passed Gomez for 6th position. He's on the pressure compounded tyre, the faster compounded tyre rather, and has passed Pedro Gomez. Next up on the road is Tom Satherley, about 3 seconds ahead. He might well be gaining that at this rate.
Yeah, I just went and had a look at the replay. That was just down into turn 1, simple slipstream manoeuvre from the Musto driver, who is now into 6th position, having started from the back of the field. And Schmidt wasn't quite close enough this race. So yeah, Harris doing well to get up into 6th place and going for a top 5. To be pretty good considering he's only 25 seconds off the lead, having started from the back.
Absolutely, and he is catching Satherley now. He's taking chunks of time out of him. Only has 4 laps though, so needs to be quick about it. But talking of quick, Schmidt is actually closer through the first sector than he has been for the entire race to Valeriano. This lap could be his lap. He's closer than he has been before, and as they go onto the back straight, he's not going to be close enough to challenge here, but he really needs to start setting himself up for this. And through the last few corners of the lap, it's all going to be about the move down into turn 1. I'm sure you can really get inside the driver's mind at this time of the race. And Valeriano will be psyching himself up, knowing that Schmidt is going to go for it. He needs to be as aggressive in defence as he has been the last couple of laps. It's all or nothing for the lead of this race. He's going defensive even now to try to break the slipstream from Schmidt. He needs to make sure he gets the braking zone as he would do. He does. And as they exit the final corner, Schmidt is back in the slipstream of Valeriano. What's the gap as they cross the start-finish line? It's exactly as it was through sector 2. They're right with each other, half a second separating them, and Schmidt isn't quite close enough. But does he get the run up the hill? This is where he tends to struggle a little bit, but he's certainly close to Valeriano, and basically getting dragged along by the windbreak of the car ahead.
Yeah, we only have 2 laps to go in this race as well, so he's getting very close to the finish, and Schmidt realises this. You can visually see he's actually trying a little bit harder where before he was trying to set him up, but he really needs to get close to him in this first half a lap. Otherwise he'll be too far away.
Na pailingu už kašli, ten toho nechceš už.
Half a second behind coming out of the final corner to actually have a go. So here,
hlavně si lidi dostane.
Use the DRS close, but last lap he ran too far into this corner, but Yeah, exactly. See, he probably shouldn't have moved over there because he needs to set up and not lose time through these corners, because it's really this corner here, turn 13, start the third sector where he needs to nail.
He's just psyching out Valeriano, sizing him up like a boxer, and trying to get it all absolutely sorted here. As Harris Parves now passes David Morchek, as does Tom Savely, so Morchek loses 2 places there, whatever's happened.
But is close. This might be worth it.
Yeah, as we head down onto the penultimate lap, they're within half a second. That's when we know that Schmidt's going to go for the move. He looks to the inside. Valeriano defends it, and Schmidt now has to go for the switchback. And that was good defence from Valeriano, if a bit late. But Schmidt now has to get right back in the slipstream up towards turn 4. Valeriano is getting properly defensive at this late stage in the race, as he has to defend his win. This is utterly amazing. This battle between the 2 quickest drivers in the series today.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely brilliant battle. You can tell Schmidt is just so close to getting this overtake done, and he's a lot closer now in the first sector. As we know, that is his strongest sector. He needs to stay close here and try to get this going.
And we've had a disconnection. It's Robin Panzer, so another ACR car has been taken out of the race through lag issues. This time it's Robin Panzer who was DNF right towards the end of the race through no fault of his own, and that's a big shame because Panzer had a lot of pace today, and he is now tumbling down the order, and that's going to move Peter Schultz into the last points paying position. But now, looking at the first 2 drivers again, there's about half a second separating them as we head around the final corner towards the final lap of the race. We are going to get one more lap here, one more chance for Lucas Schmidt to have an attack at Valeriano. What's the gap? 6 tenths per second. He's not going to be close enough heading down into turn 1. He needs to go for it at some other point in the lap. He's not going to be close enough here. He has the DRS and gets right close to him, but tucks in behind his gearbox, and we are going to get just one last lap of racing, less than a lap of racing now. Valeriano goes defensive down into turn 4. Schmidt looks to the inside. That's not going to work. Now, as we go through the S's, it's all about hanging on for Lucas Schmidt, setting himself up for the back straight. The back straight isn't always a good overtaking opportunity because the next corners are fast one with not much of a braking zone. But if he can do it down into the final corner of this lap, that's probably going to be his very last overtaking opportunity down there.
This is where he needs to do it. I think this is where he needs to do it, this corner. He's been very close before. He's going to need to do a bit of a dive, but now he's half a second. He's probably too far back. So yeah, he needs to sit on the racing line, take a nice line through here, and try and. And all
Valeriano needs to do is drive a normal line and hang on for dear life. Don't make an error. Valeriano needs to be careful here. Schmidt is right on his tail as we head down the start or down the penultimate straight. Valeriano cuts to the inside. Look at Schmidt. He's coming like a shark, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. Final corner is upon us. Schmidt is certainly with him, but it's going to be Giordino Valeriano who claims a very well-deserved win. Hangs onto it. Fantastic defense. Valeriano wins it, followed by Schmidt. What a race that was. 1 minute 6 seconds 38. 1 hour 6 minutes 38 seconds. That's what I meant. And third is going to be David Schiappini. Fourth, just about, is going to be Tom Savely, but that is a very close one, which is just about going to go the way of Tom Savely, ahead of Harris Parves in fifth. Great race from Harris Parves. He's going to be a contender as the season moves on. Morchek is 6th, Gomez is 7th, 8th is going to be Ton van Egmond, who crosses the line about now. And wow, what a race that was.
Yeah, wow, what a race that was. They're battling all the way through the race in various circumstances, be it strategy or on track. But Valeriano once again comes out on top, and after 2 races has taken both wins, so he will continue to win the championship. That's very good from him, to be honest. Position, followed by Yuri.
Já to změním stejně asi na body, ale na 10. místo, takže.
A doplatíš to pak?
Make it to 12th place. Carlos Hernandez
Jako jo, no, v tom Ace mi to přijde od toho 10. místa trošku ulítí.
then there's Harley
Jako
Hunt
vydávat.
and Peter Schuster.
Tam by to mělo být spíš na body, no.
They were one lap down, so they have already finished. But yeah, back to the leaders. What a battle that was.
Ale jo,
Schmidt
dobrý
tried
závod.
so many times, but he couldn't quite.
Zase Valeriano vyhrál o kousíček, ale to
The distance that Valeriano has come on this.
Škoda, že Maťa se střelil ten, no. Jako, tam by body byly, no. Taky.
He had a lot of spare fuel left. When I finished my pro race,
ukončilo
I
16 lidí.
didn't really have enough fuel to get past sector 1. But maybe he managed to defend very well.
Teď jsem ztratil minutu 8
not
vteřin.
using the mixtures, but
To byl
he's
tím
shown
poškozením
he's
zasraným.
probably the class of the field at this moment in time. And
Tady ty lidi by,
they can
ty vole,
really
já
challenge
nevím,
him
to
going
kdyby
forward.
komentoval
I think they can, considering how
ten
Schmidt did.
Gajdoš, tak se nestačí
His
divit.
timings were potentially a little bit too much for.
Ten by furt, každý závod by měl tyhle v puse amatérismus největšího stupně.
He gets back to
Tak jsou tam takový frajeři, kteří trochu
Well, it shows
nejsou
you how
úplně
tight,
v pohodě,
how
no, na té
light these
trati.
drivers have to run. And the
Nějaký ty vole, ale
after
že to je
all
tak
that,
polovina
Valeriano,
lidí, co
Schmidt,
tady jezdí.
Chiappini, Sadlerley,
Ze
Parvez,
všech těch
Schmidt,
serií
Nekoukají do
James,
zrcátek,
Van
nezajímají se okolo,
Lehner,
co se děje,
Hilly,
nic.
Sravatsky,
No ne,
Rosner,
no.
Hernandez,
A to je to
Hamlet,
samý, tyhle, já
Schultz,
jsem se na tohle
and then
stoptal toho
80 points,
Joeyho Brolíka,
Morbill, and then
když se to
DNF,
měli v závodech, on říkal, že ne, že to je
Panzer,
lepší.
Jako, Junt,
Mně to přijde oproti test raceu úplně stejný.
Lopez, Weeks, Coleman, and
Nebo jenom o
Ivanov.
malinko
What
lepší.
an absolute cracker of a race. We have
Pravda,
just
teď už
witnessed
nikdo
here
na
at
rovince
the
nedává
Formula Sim Racing
neutrál,
Ace
no.
Championship, right?
Ale tak jako
Yeah,
tak,
that was
dobrý závod
that
od
really
tebe.
lived up to the hype that Australia
Jako
brought.
získal jsem
So
jenom
it
jednu
really looks
pozici,
like
no.
gonna be having an awesome season.
A to, že jsem v Austrálii startoval 17. a byl 10.
Those drivers at the top
Ale
are
tak jsou to
so
furt
close
body a body
and,
se počítají.
Přesně tak.
you know, really fighting hard, which is good. I mean, the gap to Chiappini
Ještě k tomu si myslím,
was
že v průběžném pořadí
big.
když
was
si
over 10
neměl nějak
seconds, but
klesnout,
I'm
protože
sure, 'cause he is new to
no
FSR,
Saturday, co byl za tebou, tak dojel před tebou výrazně, takže ten se posune.
become good and potentially challenge for race
Lopez
wins.
ten nedojel,
Yeah, that just about does it here from
Junt a Morville ti zbyli za tebou.
So thank you, Josh, for joining me in your
Megva,
debut.
před Maguire, aby se směl posunout.
No problem, I loved it.
Před Opečnýho se posuneš.
That was a great race, and later on
Opečenýho.
today, in
Takže v podstatě,
1 hour's time, we have the Formula Sim Racing World
podstatě
Championship
bys-
qualifying
no rozhodně bys neměl klesnout, asi tak.
from Bahrain as well, where
A co
our
Maťo?
best drivers get
No
going,
Matěj klesne,
and
Na horší jak
shows
15.
really how these cars
na horší než 15,
Takže
jo.
budu muset jít před
So yeah,
kvalifikací
we look
příště.
forward to seeing you then. If not, we will see you in 2 weeks for the French Grand
Tam
Prix
bylo
that
první
will have
20,
the
to nevím, jestli
championship
klesne až za první 20. Ne, první 20.
socials. And if you'd like to get involved, check out the
Ale ono se to může změnit zase podle počtu lidí, oni to tak nějak reagují spíš na ten počet lidí. Dneska to bylo pro první 20.
Jinak Honzo,
No,
zaznamenal jsi tam u mě, že do mě někdo narazil nějak výrazně, nebo ne, nebo jo, že by to muselo být na protest?
já se dívám na televizní přenos a jako vás tam moc jako nedají, takže já jsem viděl jenom to, co bylo nějak výraznější.
A dali nás tam dneska vůbec?
Jo,
Jo,
hlavně Bruňu.
A mě tam dali?
Jo, taky jsi tam byl. A jo, párkrát to nás i pronesli slova, jakože to bylo dobrý z naší strany i nějaké věci.
To se Bruně na to asi nebude chtít ani podívat, ty už.
Já se nedivím, no, trošku. Ale.
Já taky ne. Jako ty lidi jsou fakt, já nevím, jestli mají v mozku na stránu, nebo já fakt nevím, ty jo. Já bych mu fakt tak rád napsal tomu Magorovi, ty vole, že good race, ty vole.
Tak jako teoreticky můžeš ironicky lehce napsat.
Už zase ta píča, ty vole. Že co?
Tak teoreticky mu můžeš lehce ironicky napsat. No.
Ale
Ale tak,
dva jsou stupid.
a tak cíle jsme splnili, získali jsme zase body. Což je fajn. Nevím, jestli v týmovém pořadí se nějak výrazně posunem, tam kdo ví, tam to asi nebude tak dobrý.
Tam jsme byli kolikátí.
Tam jsme byli 9 po Austrálii. Tam nedokážu teďka propočítat, jak to bylo. No.
No ten dement tady už ani není LA. Ne, nebudu ironický, on by mě pak neměl rád, ten Creeper zase, když mi to je úplně uprdení.